AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Marks gets the goal. Second down and 8. To the end zone, open touchdown. Isaac the Slaw with the score. 12 yards, 46 seconds in regulation.
Reeves, there he goes. Reeves to James. Kick it. Corner. Brewing the winner to win the game. Brewing wins it. And James gave him the basketball.
On the inbounds. And it comes to Tyrese Maxey. Guarded by his former teammates. Tyrese Maxey to win the game. And it goes! DeAnthony Melton blocks. And the Sixers win it in South Philly.
And with that, a good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM1310 WDPN, as we come to you live from Louisville High School today. Just a reminder, a little bit later on this evening, over on our sister station Q92 and Q92radiosports.com, we will have high school basketball as the defending state champions from Division III, Louisville, will play the defending state runners-up in Division II, the Perry Panthers. So we got Perry and Louisville tonight on Q92. That'll be around 7 o'clock or so here from Louisville. On the AM tonight, right here on 1310 WDPN, Christian will have the call as Salem will take on J.R. Jackson and the Alliance Aviators. That'll be coming up tonight at 7 right here on AM 1310 WDPN, and, of course, all of the other social media platforms as well. All right, we made it. Happy Friday, everybody. It is a fill-in-the-blank Friday here on the Sam Bourquin Show, and we'll get to the fill-in-the-blank coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Ryan Rainsberg is holding the fort down back on Smith Avenue today. Mr. Rainsberg, how are we doing on this Friday? Good?
Sam, I'm feeling pretty good because we hooked up that whole new sound card in about 2.5, 3 minutes. So I'm pretty proud of myself. Me and Computech worked it out.
You know, I'm kind of sad I wasn't there to watch you in action. Get that stuff figured out and all. Yeah.
It was pretty.
Well, that's good. So we got the sound card taken care of.
We do.
So that's the first thing off the list. We got a few more we need to take care of here soon. Text line is open today, 330-924-7088. That's 330-924-7088. Kind of quiet now. There's, I believe there is going to be, I think the girls are going to be practicing here after school for an hour and a half or so, and then they'll push the bleachers out on the other side, and they'll get ready for the Perry-Louisville JV and varsity games coming up here a little bit later on. I will tell you this. It's a good thing that the varsity game and the JV game doesn't start like now, because there is no heat in the gymnasium. And you know me, Mr. Wear Shorts in January and all that other stuff. It's freezing cold in this gymnasium right now. Now, I understand they're working on it and trying to get everything squared away, but it's cold. Matter of fact, I just got my black polo on right now, but here we go. I got the hoodie. I got the Buckeye hoodie today to put on just in case, because it is very, very cold. So we'll be dealing with that throughout the day here. But good to be here. Thanks to Terry Horn for making us feel at home. They do such a nice job here with their hospitality for football, basketball, whatever sport it is. They put on a lot of great baseball tournament games over at the Field of Dreams as well. Springtime, and they do a lot of great stuff here. So I always want to thank her and appreciate her efforts and hospitality and kindness and getting us all set up. A little different setup for us this year, due to we was talking to some folks, so there's probably not going to be like a huge media crush early to cover a lot of games. We'll see how things go. So we're up here in the, I guess we'll call it the nest, or the leopard lair, I guess maybe we'll call it. So we're about mid court, and we're up just past the final row of the bleachers here on the home side. So we got a great view. So we'll bring you the hoops tonight, but I got a great view to do the show here, and we're going to have some special guests coming up probably around 4:35, 4:40 this afternoon. Coach Wirtz is going to come up. He's probably going to have a couple of players with him, and we'll have them on the show today, and we'll see what's going on there. Also want to remind everybody that you can watch and listen to the Sam Bourquin Show Monday through Friday, 3 until 6 here on 1310 WDPN, and all of our social media places, WDPN on Facebook, on X, Twitter. Don't forget the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. And while you're there, if you would just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and that would be awesome. We certainly would appreciate that. So we got lots to get to today. First of all, want to congratulate a couple of state champions from Northeast Ohio. Now it's the only 2 games we had involving state championship teams, but we're 2 for 2, so we're going to be batting 1,000 for the state football championships this year. Congratulations to Coach Mike Elder and the Avon Eagles as they beat Cincinnati Anderson last night, 37-20. The Eagles go back to back and win the Division II state championship. Congratulations to the Mount Union alum Mike Elder and Avon as they win the Division II title for the 2nd year in a row. That was last night, and I believe they had just under, I checked it, where do we have it? They had just under 4,600 last night for the Avon game and Anderson over at Benson. Earlier this morning, and it was 11 degrees right before kickoff today, but it warmed up, and boy, did it warm up for the Tarblooders of Cleveland Glenville as they won another state championship today, 45-7, as they took care of the Shelby Whippets. Congratulations to Coach Ted Ginn and the Tarblooders as they are state champions again in Division 4. And I saw that they had around 6,500 today for the Glenville-Shelby game. Now, I got to see a couple of highlights, and it looked like Shelby pretty much brought the whole town. So they probably consisted of 90% of the crowd today at Benson. So way to show up, man. To Shelby, be proud. You had a great season. The fans followed you the whole way through, and they made for a pretty cool atmosphere today over at Benson. But congratulations to our two state champions so far, Avon in Division 2 and Cleveland Glenville in Division 4. And hoist that trophy high, and congratulations as you take the hardware back to Avon and to Cleveland Glenville. Now, there's a couple of more state championship games today. You've got one at 3:30, which is Columbus Bishop Watterson and Toledo Central Catholic. And then tonight, you've got the Division I game. I believe it's a little after, I think it's around 7:30. You will have Olentangy Orange going up against Cincinnati St. X. That will be for the state championship in Division 2. And then you got 3 more games tomorrow at 10:30, 3, and 7:30. So that's what's going on over at Benson today. Hopefully we'll have a nicer crowd tonight. We were talking about this on the show the other day. What you thought, how the crowds would be for the whole weekend? How many? What was the? How many locals were going to go to the games? You're going to check out a game on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Were you not going to go at all? Were you going to watch on TV? Whatever. Gosh, you'd like to get. The last several years, it's been hovering between like 33 and 35,000 for the entire OHSAA state championship football weekend. So you had 46 last night. You had 6,500 this morning, so you're at about 11,000 so far. So hopefully you have a little bigger crowd tonight. I don't know what the crowds are going to be like tomorrow, especially with the tomorrow night with Ohio State playing Indiana at the same time. They might struggle. They might struggle to get 35,000 for the weekend. But we'll see. The weather's supposed to cooperate. It's a little chilly, but not crazy. No crazy wind and snow and rain and all that stuff. So it should be pretty comfortable over at Benson. I know there's tickets available for the rest of the weekend. So if you're inclined to do so, and you got the means, head on over to Tom Benson and check out a great weekend of high school football here in the state of Ohio, and check out what's going on over at the Village as well. What else did I want to tell you next? Tomorrow, we're all set. Hope you are too. We've got a football, basketball doubleheader for you tomorrow. At noon, we will have Mount Union and John Carroll from Cara Stadium on the campus of the University of Mount Union. You can join myself and Ryan Bevere tomorrow for the play-by-play as the Purple Raiders look to take out the Blue Streaks and get on to the next round of the Division III college football playoffs. Again, that's noon tomorrow, Mount Union and John Carroll. And then at around 4 o'clock or so, we'll be over at the Mack Center as we bring you some college basketball. The undefeated 7-0 Mount Union Purple Raiders will take on a 5-1 Otterbein team. This should be a good game tomorrow. This will tip a little bit after 4 at the Mack Center. Otterbein, Mount Union. You can join myself, Ryan Bevere. We'll be doing double duty for you tomorrow here on AM1310 WDPN, Q92radiosports.com, and all of our social media platforms. So that's a little bit of the housekeeping I wanted to get underway, get that out of the way as we get the show going here live from Louisville. Don't forget, AM tonight, Christian has the call. Salem Alliance. I'll be with Lee, courtside with Sammy B. and Lee on Q92 tonight as Louisville will play the Perry Panthers. Okay, let's do our fill in the blank Friday, shall we? And I figured tomorrow is the big one, right? Indianapolis tomorrow. Boy, do you see what those tickets are going for on the secondary market? The average get-in ticket price now for the Big Ten championship game between the Buckeyes and Hoosiers tomorrow night is like $700. That's the get-in ticket, around $700, and it's been going up higher and higher and higher the last 3, 4, 5 hours. I know there was a list. I know personally a lot of Buckeye fans, season ticket holders, you had to kind of put in, I guess, kind of a lottery thing to get selected to be able to go to the Big Ten championship game, and they didn't get in. They didn't make the cut. They didn't get picked. I understand the list was like 13,000 people waiting to get on a list to have a chance to get tickets to that game tomorrow night. And I know that the place is going to be packed. They probably oversold it at some point, so I'm sure people will be standing around Lucas Oil Stadium tomorrow night. But that's going to be pretty electric. 8:15 tomorrow night on Fox. Anyhow, our fill in the blank Friday today, real simple. I want you to fill in the blank. Okay, here it is. The final score of the Big Ten championship game tomorrow night will be blank. Or I could just make it real simple for you. What's the final score going to be tomorrow night between Indiana and Ohio State? What's it going to be? What's the final score going to be? It's a fill in the blank Friday here on the Sam Bourquin Show. A lot of prognostications have already come in. We'll start to read those to you here in just a couple of minutes. I think I have my score. I've kind of been wanting to – I came up with my numbers, I think, probably on Wednesday, and I think I'm pretty comfortable with what I think might happen on Saturday. Also, a little bit later on today, we told you we're going to have Louisville head coach Wirtz on, probably being a player or two up. Maybe Terry Horn will come up and join us, the AD here at Louisville. Let us know what's going on with the Leopards. Here we are in the winter sports season, coming off of fall and looking ahead to big things. And we'll have Sammy B's Best Bet coming up at 4:29 on this day in sports history. At 5:29, Lee Foster, my basketball partner, will be joining us around 5:35 to get you ready for a big Friday night of hoops on 1310. And, of course, our sister station, Q92. We'll get you ready for the Big Ten championship game. The Cavs are in action tonight. The Cavs are in action tomorrow night. The Browns will get together with the Titans on Sunday. And there is just a lot of stuff going on. Plus, we'll keep you up to date with the OHSAA State Football Championship games throughout the afternoon and throughout our basketball coverage tonight here as well. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We're broadcasting live here from Louisville High School. It's a fill-in-the-blank Friday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show, and we're just getting cranked up here on this chilly Friday in Northeast Ohio. AM 1310 WDPN. We'll come back after this. Stay with us.
Of all the ways to get ahead in life, we're one of them, and we're legal. The John Tesh Radio Show.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room.
You're just trying to be better. We're just trying to help. The John Tesh Radio Show.
Join me for music and intelligence for your life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
It's intelligence for your life.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score, and it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love, and if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. AM 1310 WDPN. You can watch and listen to us on all of our live streams, Facebook, X, Twitter, and don't forget the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. And while you're there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and that'll give you a little heads up, some alerts every time we crack the mic and get some news and good stuff for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. All right. Let's see here. A lot of folks are weighing in on the Glenville-Shelby game today, and I kind of thought that this was going to happen because I actually kind of was talking about it the last couple of years that, Cleveland-Glenville is technically a Division IV school for high school football. And a lot has been said the last couple of years of how they've kind of, I don't know if I want to use the word manipulated the system, but let's just say there was some extra thought put in on how this Cleveland-Glenville High School, the Glenville Athletic Campus, the academic campus, the Ginn Academy, how all this kind of was in a bowl. And I think we all know the Cleveland-Glenville is a Division I football team. Maybe Division II, but most likely Division I. But the way the numbers are, it says that they are a Division IV school. And a lot of folks are are weighing in and upset about that today. And look, I said this a couple years ago when Cleveland Glenville was playing Canton South up in, where was that? I don't know where the game was even played. It was up north somewhere. Might have been Brunswick, may have been Medina. I don't know where it was. But I'm sitting there watching this, broadcasting this game going, this is just not even a fair fight. I mean, it really isn't. Canton South fought their fannies off, and Glenville was just too big, too fast, too strong, too everything. And at the end of the day, South really didn't have a chance. Today, did Shelby really have a chance against Glenville? No, they didn't. It was 7-7 early, and then that was it. 45-7 the final score as the Tar Blitters won. But I will tell you this, because of all the changing going on up in the city of Cleveland as far as the public schools are concerned, things are going to change, okay? There's going to be a lot of mergers of schools next year. A couple of schools going in 2 buildings, and Cleveland Glenville is one of the schools that's going to be affected. They will be merging with at least one school. That'll be Cleveland Collinwood, and there might be another to come. So just by that bump in enrollment alone, Glenville is going to be a Division II school. They may end up being a Division I school within the next couple of years. But definitely next year, they're going to be at least Division II. So you won't have to worry about what happened the last couple of years with them winning a D4 state championship, because they're not going to be D4 anymore. The numbers are going to say, hey, you're D2, and you might even be D1. So for everybody that's getting in an uproar about that, that's probably not going to happen again. But I just wanted to kind of get that out there. All right, we're going to take a break. We got the news. We got the weather coming up here at the bottom of the hour. We are just getting cranked up here on the Sam Bourquin Show, live from Louisville on a fill-in-the-blank Friday. It's AM 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. The Supreme Court has agreed to hear arguments in a case that directly challenges the legality of President Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy reports.
In agreeing to take the case, the High Court signals it's ready to decide whether the president can, by executive order, determine that children born to parents here illegally or on temporary visas aren't citizens. Lower courts have resoundingly rejected the White House's view, citing the 14th Amendment and prior Supreme Court rulings on birthright citizenship that date back more than a century. Now the justices will hear arguments on both sides of the issue, likely next spring.
The man accused of placing a pair of pipe bombs outside the headquarters of the Republican and Democratic national parties in Washington on the eve of the January 6th riot at the Capitol confessed to the act in interviews with investigators. That's according to 2 people familiar with the matter who spoke to the Associated Press. The people said Brian Cole Jr. also indicated that he believed the 2020 election was stolen and expressed views supportive of President Trump. During Cole's initial court appearance today, a prosecutor said the 30-year-old suspect from Woodbridge, Virginia, spoke to law enforcement officers for over 4 hours after his arrest on Thursday. Cole didn't enter a plea to explosives charges during the hearing. Another boat strike this week in the Caribbean by the U.S. military has led to the deaths of 4 more people. 87 in total have been killed in the strikes in the region so far. And the White House says the military is going after drug traffickers. President Trump has made threats against Venezuela and President Maduro, and has even threatened to move U.S. troops in for a ground invasion. ABC's Matt Rivers, who is at port in Trinidad and Tobago, says the U.S. and Venezuela haven't cut off contact just yet.
Maduro coming out saying that he had another phone call with President Trump. He described it as cordial between both presidents. He said they talked about diplomacy and the opportunities for peace. And so both sides are still talking.
Argentina and Lionel Messi will play Algeria to open its World Cup title defense as part of a group that also includes Austria. The United States was drawn to start against Paraguay at Inglewood, California on June 12th, a day after Mexico hosts the opener against South Africa. The U.S. reached the semifinals at the inaugural World Cup in 1930 and has gotten as far as the quarterfinals only one other time in 2002. President Trump, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney selected the balls of their own countries from bowls during a ceremony at the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. It's 30 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunshine galore for your Friday afternoon. Not a big warm-up today. A high near 31 degrees. Light southerly winds. Overnight clouds moving in with a low near 19. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
You got me running, baby. You give me something way beyond revenue. You put the magic in me. I feel the magic in me.
AM1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. We broadcast live from Louisville today. A little bit later on tonight on our sister station, Q92, 92.5 FM, and Q92radiosports.com. We will have high school hoops for you as Louisville will take on Perry around 7 o'clock. If you want to check out the Alliance Aviators and the Salem Quakers tonight, Christian will have the call for you right here on AM 1310 WDPN and, of course, all of the social media platforms. Yeah, had to apply a little chapstick there. It's cold in here, man. There's no heat. they're working on it. So that's what's going on there as far as the basketball is concerned tonight. I saw a couple of reports from the Browns today. Looks like Wyatt Teller and Jack Conklin are both out for the Browns against the Tennessee Titans coming up here on Sunday. Does that really mean anything, or probably not? But just wanted to get that information out there to you, that the Browns offensive line will be a little depleted on Sunday to one up at the stadium as they take on Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. Coming up here in just a little bit, we will hear from the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski. He met with the media earlier today up in Berea. It was a quick visit. It wasn't even 5 minutes. But we'll play some of that for you coming up here a little bit later on today. The Browns are still a 3.5-point favorite against the Titans coming up here on Sunday. Ohio State is in some places, a 4.5-point favorite against the Indiana Hoosiers tomorrow night for the Big Ten championship game at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. College, or I should say high school football, last night, if you missed it, Avon state champions in Division II. They beat Cincinnati Anderson 37-20. And wrapping up just a couple of hours ago, Cleveland Glenville, your Division IV state champ, as they pounded Shelby today by the score of 45-7. Cavs in action tonight. Cavaliers are in action tomorrow night. Spurs tonight, Warriors tomorrow. Both of those ball games will be up at Rocket Arena in Cleveland.
Go ahead and disregard that, Sam. I just got it.
I was going to say, I knew I sent that to you.
I sent it. I'm like, I should probably look too, and then I did.
Oh, Sammy B. Sometimes ahead of the game, sometimes behind the game. But, yeah, we'll hear from Coach Stefanski coming up here in just a little bit. Also, Leopard fans, don't forget, we're going to be hearing from Coach Wirtz. He'll be coming up, maybe a player or two, right around 4:35, 5:40, 4:40 today as we get you ready for our broadcast on Q92. Tonight is Perry will take on Louisville. Gosh, it's hard to believe. What are we here? What is today? December what? 5th, 6th, something like that. It's hard to believe. So let's go. December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. It seems like it was about a month ago to me that we were down in Dayton and we were at Udine Arena and we were covering the state championships in basketball. We had two teams from the county. Louisville made it down in Division III. Perry made it down in Division II after that incredible Sunday the week before at the Camp Memorial Fieldhouse. And we talked about that a couple of times this week. And it's hard to believe it's been that long since all that went down, right? That was March. That was the middle of March down in Dayton. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And here we are, already cranking up another season of high school basketball. It's you talk about Father Time being undefeated. Father Time doesn't slow down for anybody, anything. I cannot believe, like, it almost feels surreal being here in Louisville today, knowing that we were down in Dayton doing, calling a state championship game for them. And the middle of March, it was just, it's crazy. And of course, Perry being here tonight kind of makes it kind of cool. Now, look, do either one of these schools or fan bases think that they're going to, waltz to a state championship this year? No, nobody's even thinking about that. But it is kind of cool, little backstory, to have both teams here playing each other tonight that both went to the finals a year ago. One team got the state title, one came up a little bit short, but both had magical runs for their schools, for their communities, for their students, for their friends and family, and it was a really magical season. Again, who thought before last year started? Now, maybe some folks in Louisville did. I think maybe some of us did. We thought maybe that the Leps would at least maybe get to Dayton and play for a state title. Nobody thought Perry was going to be there. Nobody. And look what happened. They started off slow. They caught fire. They really caught fire in the playoffs, and they ended up going to the state title. So you never know. But it's kind of cool to have both those teams going at it here today. And I'm sure we'll be able to, reminisce a little bit and talk about the great stories and the great runs of both schools during our broadcast tonight of Louisville Perry on the Q92 and, of course, Q92radiosports.com. So that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. That's why every year you never know. You never know what's going to happen, who's going to start out hot, who's going to start out, maybe, 1-6, 2-8, who knows? And then, you turn the calendar. December is over. January is over. Here comes February. You start figuring some things out. Maybe some injured kids are able to come back. You got some team chemistry. You start to think that you can maybe do something. You start to maybe get a little luck, during a couple of games. Maybe you weren't on your A game, and by gosh, you come out of there with a win that night. So instead of being 12-8, you're 15-5. You know what I mean? Something like that. So you never know when the season starts, but that's why you play. They used to play 20 games, remember? Now they play 22. So you're seasoned, you're ready. Hopefully you have scheduled accordingly with a purpose of wanting to get better, to play great competition, and then by the time the tournament rolls around, whatever division you're in, hey, man, just throw the ball up in the air. You never know. You may have a chance to do something that maybe nobody else thought you could do, and that makes it kind of fun. That's where the old Cinderella theme comes from, right? The slipper still fits. You keep winning, you keep winning, you keep winning, and before you know it, you get that state championship medal just kind of hanging right in front of you, and you got a chance to go out there and handle your business. So we're looking forward to a great high school basketball season here on 1310, of course, on Q92, and we'll be with you all the way through, okay? Hopefully all the way through deep March. Who knows? I will tell you this. I think Camp McKinley might get there. I think the Bulldogs might get there. They were one game away last year, and it's probably going to come down to that again. I don't want to, spoil the whole season, but I think McKinley's going to win a lot of games. They're going to play great competition. They got the Federal League. They've got St. Vincent, St. Mary. They beat them already. They got Hoban coming up. They're going to be playing Warren Harding later in the year. They've got some really, really good tests coming up, and I think they're going to be there. And they'll probably, take care of business early in the tournament, and then the regionals will roll around, and you'll probably have to go up to Kent State again, and you're probably going to have to go through one of the big boys up there to get through there. Is this the year that the Camp McKinley Bulldogs knock that door down? It could be. And then I think if they're able to get to Dayton, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Of course, with basketball, another thing you never know is with the way they do the tournaments now, these super districts, super regionals, you can you can kind of go wherever you want, and you may not be playing close to home as much as maybe as you did in the past, but you pick your path that you think might be the best for you and your team. So whether you got to play in Kent or you got to play in Medina or you play wherever the path takes you, that's the way you have to go to get where you want to go. So I would say right now of all the area teams that we cover, I would say McKinley would be my odds-on choice, the best chance to get to Dayton to play for a state title. Now, I am not shutting the door on the other 19 teams because, look, I think Hoover's going to be pretty good. But don't forget, Hoover's in Division II, okay? So, hey, McKinley could make a rundown. Hoover could make a rundown. Alliance is pretty good. I mean, by the time they really get rolling, I think they're going to have a really nice basketball team. I think Central will be good. They lost to Fitch the other night by 3 at home. I think it's going to take them a little longer this year to get to the point where they feel comfortable making a tournament run. They lost a lot of really good seniors from the team a year ago, but they got some pieces back. And I think with the schedule that they're playing, I think Central has a chance to win another district championship for sure. And I mean, it's the same old deal for them too. You know, you play the hard schedule, and then you get the tournament, and you got to maybe you play a couple of games at home, and then maybe you got to go somewhere, and then you try to get back to the field house for the regionals, and look who's staring at you: Richmond Heights, Lutheran West. It's the same thing. It's the same thing every year. They got to figure out a way somehow to knock that door down. And that's the challenge for Coach Creamer and the Crusaders again this year, and we'll see what they can do in their division. So it'll certainly be interesting. So with that being said, it's this was our first week of high school hoops, and you don't learn a lot about week one, but I think we learned a little bit about McKinley the other night. I think we learned a little bit about St. V. I know the Irish are out of our area per se, but you always kind of keep an eye on them to see what they're doing. And they're actually going to be coming back to the field house, I think, in a couple of weeks to play in that 24-second shot clock tournament that goes on. It's a 2-day thing. I think St. V is going to play in that too. As a matter of fact, I've got that list here. Let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, this is December the 27th and December the 28th. This is the 24-second shot clock tournament. This is over at the Canton Fieldhouse. This is the schedule of games this year. On December the 27th at noon. Okay, so they're going to mix boys and girls this year because it's a 2-day thing. All right, so here's the schedule. On December the 27th at noon, this is girls, Shelby West Branch. At 1:45, girls, Northwest McKinley. 3:30 boys, Olentangy will play Hoover. 5:15 Elyria will play Massillon. And then at 7, Maysville will play Akron St. Vincent St. Mary. And then the following day, December the 28th at noon, Grand Valley will play Rocky River boys. Then it will be the Rocky River girls against Olentangy Berlin. 3 o'clock, Hamilton Township will play Canton Central Catholic. 5:15, Youngstown Ursuline will play Talmadge. And then at 7 that night, McKinley will play Warren Harding. That's the 27th and 28th, the 24-second shot clock classic over at the Canton Memorial Fieldhouse. So I figured while I had that information on the top of my head, we would be sure to pass that along to you. Matter of fact, there's a lot of stuff going on this year again as far as the holiday tournaments, Christmas tournaments. I know North Canton Hoover is going to do the MLK Classic again in January. There's the Battle at the Berkey. That's over in Smithville. I think some of our area teams are playing that as well. There's the Hall of Fame Classic over in Massillon coming up here soon. A lot of area teams in that. So a lot of good hoops again around the holidays. I know a lot of people are shopping, getting ready for the holidays, meeting up with relatives, going to dinner, taking care of stuff. So it's hard to remember all these tournaments now because there's so many. And maybe sometimes it's hard to get there, and they kind of slip through the cracks a little bit. And there's some pretty good basketball if you get a chance to get over and check some of those out. We'll keep you updated on our social media platforms with schedules and games and scores and all that cool stuff. And you might want to give us a follow too at Courtside Sam Lee on X. A lot of cool stuff up there for you as well as Q92 Sports. We have got 12 minutes here before the top of the hour. We will take a break. When we get back, we'll get into the fill-in-the-blank Friday question of the day. What's the final score going to be tomorrow night in the Big Ten championship game between Ohio State and Indiana? I want you to fill in that blank right now. Get those comments in, 330-924-7088, all of our social media platforms, and, of course, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Make sure you get those comments in, get those scores in, get those predictions in. We'll gobble them up, and we'll tell you about them, and we'll relay those to you and have a little conversation on the other side of the break. It's the Sam Bourquin Show live from Louisville on a fill-in-the-blank Friday right here on AM1310 WDPN.
Mount Union basketball is live all season long on AM1310 WDPN, presented by SARTA. Join myself, Sam Bourquin, and Ryan Keller courtside as we bring you every heart-pounding moment. And this year, we're taking Purple Raider hoops even farther. You can now listen live and for free on AM1310 WDPN Facebook page, the 1310X page, and the Q92 YouTube channel. Mount Union basketball lives on AM1310 WDPN, your home for Purple Raider basketball, presented by SARTA.
Have a great time this holiday season, but think before you get behind the wheel. Remember, safe and sober driving is everyone's responsibility. This message brought to you by Summit Testing and Inspection Company in Akron, where they're serving our area with excellence. For all of your testing and inspection needs, call 330-869-6606. 330-869-6606. Summit Testing and Inspection Company reminds everyone to please drive safely, and they're wishing everyone a safe and prosperous holiday season.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Down in the city, night is a wire. See you in the subway, up is a fire.
Welcome back to the show, AM1310 WDPN. Sam Bourquin with you on a fill-in-the-blank Friday. Your fill-in-the-blank Friday question today is, what's the final score going to be of the Big Ten championship game tomorrow night between Ohio State and Indiana? I need you to fill in that blank, your prognostication, your prediction, your score. Get those in on all of our social media platforms. Check the comments section. Of course, you can text the answer in too at 330-924-7088. What do you think? What do you think's going to happen tomorrow night? Who wants it more? I know that sounds silly. It's a conference championship game, but let's look at this here. Who wants this more? Like who really has to have it? It's Indiana, right? Right? Indiana hasn't won a Big Ten championship since 1967. And I think they had to split it 3 ways. That was 2 years before I was even born. All right? That was a long time ago. The Buckeyes have won plenty of Big Ten championships over the decades. With that being said, it's Ohio State. You're playing for a title. It's going to be a great atmosphere. You want to win, right? You want to stay. Nobody wants to lose. Nobody plays to lose. No, the Browns, but nobody else plays to lose. And I think that's what's going to make this game fascinating. Look, is Indiana? Are they going to play this game like it has higher stakes? Probably. You know, Kurt Cignetti is a guy. He'll have these guys climbing the wall. They will literally be able to run through the wall at Lucas Oil Stadium on Saturday night to go play Ohio State. I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana comes out and takes a 7-0, 10-0 lead. I wouldn't be surprised. And then after things kind of settle down a little bit, Buckeyes get back into it, and then it's a fight. It's a fight the rest of the way. Now, who knows? Maybe the Buckeyes come out 14-0. Maybe Indiana comes out and craps all over the field. Who knows? Who knows? But I gotta believe that this just means a little bit more to Indiana. Not that it doesn't mean anything to Ohio State, but you understand where I'm going here, especially you Buckeye fans who've been around for a long time. You know this is really special for Indiana. I mean, when's the last time Indiana football got this much publicity outside of last year when Kurt Cignetti took over a football program that was just garbage? It didn't even resonate, right? Nobody was going to Bloomington to watch Indiana football outside of parents and friends and family and students because their tickets were cheap or free. Now it's the hottest ticket in town. The heck with Indiana basketball. Nobody's talking about that anymore. They're talking about Indiana Hoosier football. And I just think they might have a little edge as far as the juice, the gusto, the energy, the let's go get them thing coming up. We'll see. We'll see. The Buckeyes are going to be they're going to fight them, and I think it'll be a fantastic game. All right. I want to check the line one more time here before I read the comments because this thing has been jumping all over the place. Okay, it's 4.5. So it went back up a little bit. Ohio State minus 4.5. 46.5 is the total against Indiana tomorrow night at Lucas Oil Stadium. All right, so that's our fill in the blank today. What do you think the final score is going to be between Indiana and Ohio State? Get those scores in. And let's read them. I'm going to go pick off a bunch right now before we get you to the top of the hour news and weather with Jeff Mears. And folks, I'm going to tell you what. I told you there's no heat in this gym. And I was here at like what time did I get here? 1:50? I'm freezing. I'm going to put my hoodie on during the break. All right, here we go. Tim says Ohio State 31, Indiana 10. Jim Baumgartner, hello, Jim, says Buckeyes take care of business, 38-17. Jeff Harlow says Buckeyes win at Sammy, 28-21. Here's our first fly in the ointment. Sean says Indiana 31 and Ohio State 27. Maybe. Oliver says the Buckeyes win 24-10. Peggy says Ohio State by 7, 34-27. Bill's got the Buckeyes 21-14. Anthony says Ohio State by 11, Sammy, 28-17. Kevin says Buckeyes 28-17. That seems to be a pretty popular score right now, 28-17. Mike says, this was close. Mike says Ohio State 27, Indiana 17. Mike working the mean streets of Alliance today for us. Go get him, partner. Eric says Ohio State 38-21. Rich checking in from Columbus. Rich is actually one of the ushers down at Ohio Stadium. He says Buckeyes 30, Indiana 7. Go Bucks, beat Indiana. OH. I-O.
Kenny Hall says, blowout city. Buckeyes 42, Indiana 9. Get a couple more in here for you. Rick says, here's one. Indiana 24 and Ohio State 17. And we'll cut my reading off here. Rodney says, Sam, it'll be 34-21, Ohio State. All right, so that's some of your predictions. Get those in. Keep those things coming in. Let's go. We're with you until 6 o'clock tonight. What's the final score going to be? Ohio State, Indiana, Big Ten championship game, Lucas Oil Stadium tomorrow night on Fox at 8:15. Get those scores in, and we'll read them here on the show.
So we got
purple. I was just going to say, I just saw this pop up. The Purple Suit says, Sammy, this is a Purple Raider dream weekend. Mount Union legend Matt Campbell is going to make a bazillion bucks at Penn State. Maybe. Despite John Carroll running away scared, Mount gets to blow the blue streaks out. Also, how do I calm myself down until 6 or 7 a.m. tomorrow? What time are you shotgunning pops with us in the gulling lot? I don't know. We broadcasters usually don't shotgun pops before a broadcast. Not to say that we wouldn't stop by the tailgate. That's not without the realm of possibility. So if you're over there in the gulling lot, be on the lookout for some characters in Mount Union gear and 1310 WDPN tomorrow. We may stop by and see what's going on. Busy day tomorrow. Mount football at noon, Mount basketball at 4. And, we do have our eyes on Matt Campbell, the head football coach at Iowa State. Penn State now. Nosing around. I don't know if there have been any talks, but I know there is interest from the folks in Happy Valley. That was reported by Pete Thamel yesterday, courtesy of ESPN. The only question is, does Matt Campbell want to leave Ames, Iowa, and go to Penn State? He's very comfortable there. He loves it there. They love him there. But maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to make that big jump to the Big Ten and take over Penn State. Can you imagine? I know we got to get to break here. Can you imagine now? Let's just say next year, college football, Big Ten. Ohio State's got Ryan Day. Indiana's got Kurt Signetti. Penn State could have Matt Campbell. Michigan State has Fitzy. Woo, that's some good coaching right there. Plus, there's some other really good coaching that has been coming along the last couple years in the Big Ten. Illinois, Minnesota. And don't forget, Lincoln Riley. I keep forgetting USC, right? Oregon, Washington, because they're 9 million miles away. They're still part of the Big Ten. But you know where I'm going here. So, the Big Ten coaching front could have a whole new look next year after some moving and shaking here. All right, we got a break. We got the news. We got the weather coming up. 1 hour in, 2 more to go. Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN.
An Alliance tradition for over half a century. You can always count on WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Brian Cole Jr., the Virginia suspect charged in the 2021 DNC and RNC pipe bomb incidents in Washington, D.C., was in court today. Sources tell ABC News Cole admitted to investigators during an interview that he planted the bombs and indicates Cole believed that there was fraud in the 2020 election, but no motive has been determined yet. ABC's Catherine Falders has more on the court hearing.
What we don't know from court is that he did not enter a plea. He appeared in the courtroom for that initial appearance, and his family family members were there as he was being led out of the courtroom. His family shouted, "We love you, Brian," and others shouted, "We're here for you, baby." These are readouts from Alex Mallon, who was in the courthouse, and then his family declined to comment further.
The Supreme Court agreeing to hear an expedited appeal of President Trump's case, seeking the end of the birthright citizenship by executive order. Oral arguments set to take place likely next spring. On Wall Street, stocks are on a roll toward record territory. This is ABC News.
Find the most wonderful gifts at Macy's Friends and Family Sale with incredible deals on our best brands like Donna Karan, Avec Les Filles, Calvin Klein, and more, all at 30% off. Plus, take 15% off beauty and fragrance from Lancôme, Clinique, and Yves Saint Laurent. Or Star Rewards members can earn $20 in Star money for every $100 spent on eligible brands. Going on now, only at Macy's Friends and Family Sale. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
You deserve a chair that works as hard as you do. X-Chair. X-Chair ergonomic seating is built to move with you. DVL technology adapts to support your lumbar. SiFloat Infinite Recline lets you lean back and relax. X-Chair gives you all-day comfort and productivity. Save up to 50% during the X-Chair holiday sale. But hurry, inventory is limited. Visit xchair.com and save up to 50% today. That's xchair.com.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. This news is a service of Cars Auto Repair. The Highway Patrol says a 64-year-old Perry Township man suffered minor injuries Tuesday afternoon when his vehicle struck a snowplow on northbound I-77 in Jackson Township. The crash occurred as both vehicles were merging from the Everhard Road ramp. The other driver made an improper lane change, colliding with the plow. The snowplow driver escaped injury. ODOT District 4 posted video of the incident on their Facebook page. They're reminding drivers to slow down and give snowplow crews plenty of room to work. So far this winter, 8 snowplows have been struck across Ohio. A Canton Township man who allegedly stabbed his 71-year-old parents has made an initial court appearance. 49-year-old Joshua Schaefer was arraigned today in Canton Municipal Court on charges of attempted murder, felonious assault, domestic violence, and disrupting public services. Bond was set at $1.5 million. Schaefer is scheduled to return for a status conference Tuesday. He is accused of stabbing his mother and father at their Carnwise Street Southeast home Wednesday afternoon. His mother suffered life-threatening injuries and was taken to Altman Hospital. His father received treatment for non-life-threatening injuries. Both were listed in stable condition. The Timken Company has been named to Newsweek's Most Responsible Companies list. It's the 6th straight year the Canton-based manufacturer has been named. Timken is recognized in the capital goods category and is among 600 honorees across 14 industries. President and CEO Lucien Boldia says the company leads with integrity and transparency, invests in safer workplaces and sustainable practices, supports our communities, and designs products that improve efficiency for our customers. 2 more men have been arraigned in connection with the shooting death of 20-year-old Bryson Douglas in East Liverpool. 29-year-old Curtis Holland and 25-year-old Travis Kidder pleaded not guilty Tuesday in Columbiana County Common Police Court. They were arrested last month after a grand jury indicted them on murder and aggravated murder charges. Douglas was found shot to death at a home on Pennsylvania Avenue in July of 2021. Elvin Tisdale was sentenced to life, and Alan Tisdale received a sentence of at least 10 years in the case. Authorities say Douglas was not the intended target of the shooting. A jury has convicted Michaela Glenn of murder and aggravated burglary in the October 2023 death of Edward Lewis. Prosecutors say the 36-year-old Glenn lured Lewis into a Youngstown home on Oneida Street and shot him out of jealousy. Lewis's body was found 2 days later, and his girlfriend later provided information to police. Glenn was secretly indicted in April, and his trial began Tuesday in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court. His attorney argued there was no physical evidence linking him to the crime. The jury had deliberated since Thursday afternoon before returning the guilty verdict today. Glenn will be sentenced at a later date. A Boardman woman was scammed out of $40,000 by someone impersonating a PayPal employee. Police say she received an email Tuesday alerting her to a $500 purchase on her PayPal account with a phone number to call. She spoke to the scammer, who tricked her into buying gift cards, withdrawing cash, and converting money to Bitcoin. She even met a man in a parking lot to hand over $21,000. Her friend stopped her from losing more, and she later discovered no fraud had occurred. No arrests have been made. A 33-year-old former corrections officer has been charged following an officer-involved shooting Sunday. Jacob Hall faces counts of discharging a firearm into a home and inducing panic, along with aggravated menacing and using weapons while intoxicated. No arraignment date has been set. Austintown police say Hall had made suicidal and homicidal threats at his North Yorkshire Boulevard home. He was shot by officers and taken to the hospital, where he is now in stable condition. A player and their parent, along with a third person, have reached a settlement over several claims against Youngstown Ursuline High School. A motion filed Thursday in federal court says the plaintiff, known as Jane Doe, agreed to dismiss civil liabilities for hazing, criminal acts, and civil battery against 3 defendants. The claims could be refiled in the future. The suit was filed in September, alleging a football player was a subject of hazing and sexual abuse during a team trip in June. The high school, Youngstown Catholic Diocese, and other defendants responded to the suit Monday, defending their actions in the case. 2 lawyers are facing serious disciplinary actions. Boardman attorney Anthony Fusco has been indefinitely suspended by the Ohio Supreme Court for his conviction in an insurance fraud scheme that defrauded companies out of nearly $1 million. Fusco, who pleaded guilty in 2022 and served time in prison, will not receive credit for time served under his interim suspension and can apply for reinstatement in 2 years. In another case, Greg Rossi was suspended for 6 months after the court determined he lied to a judge and drafted a legal agreement to prevent a domestic violence victim from cooperating with prosecutors. Rossi must complete ethics training before he can return to practice. A woman has been sentenced to 1 year of probation and a 1-year driver's license suspension for a fatal crash in Trumbull County. 32-year-old Jessica Scialaba of Orwell received the sentence Thursday after pleading guilty in Newton Falls Municipal Court to vehicular manslaughter. A 90-day jail term was suspended. Scialaba struck a buggy on State Route 87 in Mesopotamia Township May 12th, injuring a 25-year-old woman and a 2-year-old boy. The woman lost her unborn child. It's 29 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News, a service of Cars Auto Repair, Cars with a K. Schedule your appointment today by calling 330-821-3100. I'm Jeff Mears.
Since 1996, Kale's Auto Repair Service, Cars with a K, has been the trusted auto repair shop in Alliance. With over 80 years of experience in Stark and Mahoning County, their team provides high-quality auto care and customer service. They offer a range of services from preventative maintenance to engine repair, AC service, and more. The shop features 10 bays, state-of-the-art diagnostic tools, and mechanics ready to get your car on the road again. They accept all makes and models, ensuring top-notch service for every vehicle. Open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5 p.m. and Friday from 8 to 11 a.m. Schedule your appointment today by calling 330-821-3100.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000. Sunny skies for your Friday afternoon. It's going to be chilly all day long. Our high 31 degrees. Overnight, cloudy skies moving in with a low of 19. Wear that warm coat. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Barnes gets the goal. Second down and 8. To the end zone. Open touchdown. Isaac the Slaw with the score. 12 yards, 46 seconds in regulation.
Reeves. There he goes. Reeves to James. Kick it. Corner. Rui the winner to win the game. wins it, and James gave him the basketball.
Home to inbounds. And it comes to Tyrese Maxey. Guarded by his former teammates. Tyrese Maxey to win the game. And it goes! DeAnthony Melton blocks! And the Sixers win it! In South Philly!
Little hoops, little football, little hockey last night, and we're off and running. AM 1310 WDPN. It is the Sam Bourquin Show on a fill-in-the-blank Friday, 1310 WDPN, and all across our social media platforms. We are broadcasting live today from Louisville, the home of the Leopards. Don't forget, a little bit later on tonight, over on our sister station, 92.5 FM Q92. And, of course, Q92radiosports.com. We will have ice cold hoops on this chilly Friday. Chilly outside, chilly inside. We'll have the Louisville Leopards and the Perry Panthers tonight pregame, hopefully around 6:45, and we'll tip it off at 7. Christian will have AM hoops for you tonight right here on WDPN as the Salem Quakers will pay a visit to Harry Fales Gymnasium as the Alliance Aviators will take on the Salem Quakers again, 6:45 or so pregame, 7 o'clock tip tonight right here on AM 1310 WDPN as we get you covered. High school basketball all season long, most every Tuesday, most every Friday during the high school basketball season between AM 1310 and Q92 and all of our social media platforms. We've got you covered. So make sure that you come along for the ride with us for hoops here in the 2025-2026 high school basketball season. Okay. High school football this morning. Cleveland-Glenville won the Division IV state championship as they took care of Shelby. The Tarblooders are winner there by the score of 45-7. Congratulations to Coach Ginn and Glenville as they pick their, I believe, their third state championship. Now it's going to get a little harder for them beginning next year. There'll be no more D4. There will be no D3. They'll be up in Division II, maybe Division I after they get done with all the mergers with the Cleveland public school system that's set to go into place beginning next school year. High school football this afternoon, second quarter. Last we heard was Columbus Bishop Watterson 14 and Toledo Central Catholic nothing. That's the D3 title game over at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. So make sure you keep it here. We'll give you updates on that ball game as it progresses. I believe this is the third year in a row that Columbus Watterson and Toledo Central Catholic have met on the gridiron for the state title. So let's see here.
Real quick, we got a comment on Facebook from Chad Hines that says, "Congratulations, Matt Campbell, PTO." I didn't want to know.
No, he has not been hired yet. People
No?
are getting ahead of. They're jumping the gun. Matt has not been hired yet by Penn State. That is not official. Has not happened yet, as far as I'm aware. I've been checking every good source I can check in the very limited time that I have to do things during a break. But no, there's been no. Matt Campbell has not been hired by Penn State. They're talking, but that's as far as it goes. But if we find something out, you'll hear it here first. We got the inside on that baby. All right, we got a little inside on that one. So if it hires while we're on the air, you'll be the first to know here on 1310 WDPN and the Sam Bourquin Show. But Chad, appreciate it, but you're jumping the gun there just a little bit. High school football, Toledo Central Catholic still 14-0 Columbus Bishop Watterson. And they've got about a minute to go in the first half. Still 14-0 Watterson. Congratulations to Mike Elder and Avon. They won their Division II state championship game last night as they took care of Cincinnati Anderson by the score of 37-20. Coming up here on 18 minutes past the hour, we'll get back into our fill-in-the-blank Friday, which is fill-in-the-blank. Give me your score update. Give me your score prognostication. Give me your prediction. Ohio State, Indiana, tomorrow night. Big Ten championship game at Lucas Oil Stadium. What's the final score going to be? Who do you got? Who's going to win? Buckeyes, Hoosiers, and give me your final score, and we'll read those here on the show as we move throughout the afternoon. Coach Wirtz looks like he's going to be joining us here to talk about Louisville hoops around 4:35 or so. He may have a player or two with him as well, and we'll get into that at that particular point in time. We're also going to hear from head coach of the Browns, Kevin Stefanski, coming up here in just a little bit. Seeing a couple of more reports now. Penn State search for new head coach has come close, but there's nothing official yet on Matt Campbell leaving Iowa State and going to Penn State. Again, you'll hear that here as soon as we get the news. Let's see. I got some more predictions coming in for the big game tomorrow night. Rodney has Ohio State 34-21. Ron has the Buckeyes over Indiana 27-17. Pat says OSU 21, Indiana 10. Mary Kay, she's got a big score here. Ohio State 42 and Indiana 18. Mary Kay, first she says 42-18, and then on the next line she says Buckeyes win. Gotcha. Oh, look who weighed in today. Our boy, Babby. Jimmy Babcock. Hope you are well. Ohio State, he's got 24-21 over Indiana. Boy, all the stars are coming out today. Joseph over around the corner says Buckeyes win 42-24. Rosetta says Buckeyes 35 and Indiana 14. Keep those coming in. What's your prognostications? What's your score? What do you think? Ohio State, Indiana, Saturday night for the Big Ten title, 8:15. They'll kick it off on Fox. I have draped my Buckeye hoodie around me. I haven't had a chance to put it on yet. We're getting there. Maybe in the break between 5 and 5:08, I'll be able to change and put my hoodie on. Oh man, I'm telling you what, it is cold. They are still working on the heater here inside the gymnasium, so hopefully they'll get that finished. If not, the basketball teams are going to have to work a little bit harder in getting warmed up for tonight's game here at Louisville. Text line open, by the way, 330-924-7088, 330-924-7088. Coming up at 4:29, Sammy B's Best Bet. Can you believe what happened to us last night? Can you believe what happened to us last night with our Best Bet? Okay, let me take you back 2 nights ago. All right, we had UCLA in Washington. We took Washington at home plus 1.5. UCLA wins the game by 2, 82-80. Now, there's no way in the wide world of sports that's going to happen 2 nights in a row. So last night, we go NBA. And we laid a pretty big line, but I was pretty comfortable with it. And we gave out the Minnesota Timberwolves minus the 10.5 against the New Orleans Pelicans. Minnesota 125 and New Orleans 116. And Minnesota had to scratch their way for that win. They actually had to outscore New Orleans by 11 in the fourth quarter to win by 9. So we are now 5-7 on Sammy B's Best Bet. I have to change the name of that soon if we don't start getting it in order. But we're gonna take another shot at it tonight with our Best Bet. That'll be coming up here at 4:29. We're going to take a break right now. It's 22 minutes past the hour. When we get back, we'll hear from the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, as we continue our show live from Louisville here on AM 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score, and it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love, and if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
This Saturday afternoon at 12 noon on AM 1310 WDPN, a couple of old friends get together. The Mount Union Purple Raiders take on the John Carroll Blue Streaks in a Round 3 NCAA Division III college football playoff game live from Karis Stadium. This is Sam Bourquin. Join me and my partner Ryan Bevere Saturday afternoon as the Purple Raiders take on the Blue Streaks for the right to keep moving on in the Division III college football playoffs. Catch all the action at noon this Saturday right here on your home of the Purple Raiders, AM 1310 WDPN and Q92radiosports.com.
In times of war and peace, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. We salute those who have given their lives for our country. This salute, courtesy of Stan Cunningham Excavating, LLC, locally owned for over 4 decades and serving our area with excellence. For all of your contracting needs, call the pros at 330-532-7826. 330-532-7826. That's Stan Cunningham Excavating, LLC, on the air, saluting our troops.
.1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. We broadcast live from Louisville today. Home of the Leopards on FM tonight, Q92, Q92radiosports.com. We'll go courtside with Sammy B. and Lee. Louisville will take on Perry on the AM tonight. Christian on the call, Salem and Alliance. Browns will play the Titans on Sunday. Yikes. How many people are going to make that trip up to the stadium on Sunday to watch that? I know one person who's not going. This guy. Forget it. You couldn't pay me to go up there and watch that. Anyhow, Brown's getting ready. Kevin Stefanski, very, I don't want to say quick with the media. It wasn't very long today because Kevin does his press conferences Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and today was a quick one. So let's pick it up. Kevin Stefanski met with the media to talk Browns-Titans today earlier up in Cleveland. Let's check it out here on 1310 WDPN.
And that's obviously our focus. I thought we've had a good focused, really pleased with the work, and then got some finishing touches, obviously, next couple days before we get down there. I do want to just make mention of Grant Delpit being the Cleveland Browns Walter Payton Man of the Year. Very, very deserving for Grant. I've gotten to see Grant come in here as a young player and mature on the field, off the field, and what he brings to this football team really is immeasurable. On the field, the physicality with which he plays, he is a DNA match for who we are, just embodies who we are on the field. And then off the field, same. Just the person that he is. He knows the platform that he has in this community, and he takes it seriously. So I applaud Grant. I think it's a great honor for him and his family. But with that, I'll take any questions.
And to Mason, and what's the outlook for him?
Yeah, obviously had an injury there. Not sure if it happened in the game, but started to feel it. So we're treating it, and we'll see how it goes over the next 48.
There's 3 guys on the D-line that are questionable. You already lost Malik. How do you feel about the depth there, and optimistic about some of those guys being up?
Yeah, have to see. Obviously, this is what happens in the NFL. You get into your depth. Sometimes it happens over the course of a month or sometimes in a week, whatever it may be. So we'll see how those guys respond over the next 48, like I said, and we'll go from there.
And just with Jack out, just what does that mean, and who will start for him?
Yeah, we'll have KT at right tackle, Tevin at right guard. Really, how we finished in the game. So feel good about those guys.
like KT has developed, though? I mean, he's been kind of thrown a lot over the course of the season.
Yeah, we got KT later in the process. Obviously, wasn't with us through the spring and the summer, but has played meaningful snaps for us, somebody that we trust, brings a great physicality to the game, so fits in well.
Aaron's the guy that's been with you guys for a while. You guys have elevated him here and there. How have you seen him stay ready for his moment, and what are you looking forward to seeing from him should his number be called off of him?
Yeah, Sam's done a terrific job since he's been here of providing great value to this football team. When he plays, when he's out there at practice, he's an outstanding practice player for us, and he's given us incredible looks. Our offense he's given them incredible looks, just how competitive he is in these type of periods. And then when we've had him up in games, he's made plays, including in the last one. So he's a really valuable member of our group.
The shooter on Wednesday, he felt like he saw what he needed to see on Sunday, but didn't always let it go. Or he was hesitant to rip it for whatever reason. So how do you get him kind of past that hurdle where he feels just completely comfortable doing it?
Yeah, I think it's just a natural maturation of young players. Certainly quarterbacks getting that feel for some of those looks that you're seeing for the first time. And you try to replicate those looks in practice and make it as full speed and realistic as you can be. And then sometimes you get to the game and it's just that game speed. So I think he's doing a nice job of operating the offense. And I knowing the person and knowing the player, I have no concerns about him letting it rip, quote unquote.
Full week under your belt with Deshaun. How does he look out there physically?
Yeah, did a nice job. Again, proud of him, happy that he's out there with his teammates, and he did a nice job.
Is that just like a residual from his recovery with the knee, or is it a new thing?
Yeah, just something happened yesterday at practice, but he's battling. Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. That was short and sweet with Coach Kevin today. Kevin Stefanski met the media up in Berea, and that was it. That was quick. What are you going to ask him, though? I mean, still, let's see now. Columbus Bishop Watterson 17-0 now over Toledo Central Catholic. That ball game at halftime over at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Still scrolling around, checking some sources. Nothing official yet on Matt Campbell going to Penn State. So as soon as we hear something or get something there, we will be sure to pass that along to you. All right, you hear the music in the background. You know what time it is. It's time for Sammy B's Best Bet. We have not been good the last couple of days. We are 5-7. Our last two losses have been by a combined 1.5 points. But we are back at it today. What do you say? Should we go football tonight? Should we go basketball tonight? Let's go football. Let's go Tulane and North Texas. Boy, these teams need this, baby, if they hope to the college football playoff dance. Right now, Tulane is catching 2.5 against the Mean Green of North Texas. I think Tulane's the better team. I think they're the better club. You're going to give me 2.5, I'll take it. So let's go. Sammy B's Best Bet tonight. We'll take the Tulane Greenway plus 2.5 against the Mean Green of North Texas. That's Sammy B's Best Bet. We do it at 4:29 Monday through Friday right here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM1310 WDPN. Who knows? Maybe we'll win one tonight. We'll take a break. The news is next. Stay with us, 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. The suspect accused of planting pipe bombs in front of the Republican and Democratic National Committee headquarters in 2021 made a court appearance today. Brian Cole Jr. listened as prosecutors said he sat down with FBI investigators Thursday, shortly after he was arrested. More from ABC's Catherine Falders.
Investigators haven't determined officially what his motive was here, that they haven't identified a motive. Our sources are telling us that so far, at least in what Cole has told investigators, is that he believes that there was fraud in the 2020 election. That's all that we know at this point. And specifically, that Cole admitted to investigators that he planted those bombs.
A federal judge in Florida has ordered the release of grand jury transcripts from the federal sex trafficking cases of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Judge Rodney Smith said a recently passed federal law ordering the release of records related to the cases overrode a federal rule prohibiting the release of matters before a grand jury. The law, known as the Epstein Files Transparency Act, compels the Justice Department, FBI, and federal prosecutors to release later this month the materials they've amassed during investigations into the disgraced financier. When the documents will be released is unknown. The CDC vaccine advisory panels voted to recommend changes to when newborns receive the hepatitis B vaccine. Since 1991, babies have received the vaccine on the day they were born, but today, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s hand-picked vaccine advisory panel voted to leave the decision up to parents if the children are deemed healthy. ABC News contributor Dr. Alok Patel says the vaccine is very effective at preventing babies from contracting hepatitis B and has contributed to plummeting infections over the years.
It's important for people to understand that this argument was not fueled from anything related to the safety of the hepatitis B vaccine or its efficacy. And I think a little bit of confusion right there is what's causing people to kind of raise their hand and say, why did they actually go forward with this vote?
FIFA has given its new Peace Prize to President Trump. It's an unusual break from tradition for the sports-focused soccer organization, whose president has become a close ally of Trump. The ceremony occurred today during the 2026 World Cup draw at the Kennedy Center in Washington. It comes after Trump had openly campaigned for the Nobel Peace Prize, which was awarded to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. FIFA's president had said he thought Trump should have won the Nobel this year for his efforts to broker a ceasefire in Gaza. It's 28 degrees and Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunny skies for the most part all day long. It'll warm us up a little bit to around 31 degrees, still temps below average for this time of year. Overnight, clouds moving in on the increase, a low near 19. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
All right, we're back. 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show as we broadcast live here from Louisville. Tonight, a little bit later on, our sister station, Q92, and, of course, Q92radiosports.com. We will have the Leopards and the Louisville Leopards coming up here tonight. Getting some reports. Looks like it's a done deal. Matt Campbell leaving Iowa State to go be the new head football coach at Penn State. Starting to get some official numbers on that. I'm not 150%, but it looks like it's a done deal. The more information we get, we'll be sure to pass that along to you. All right. Still waiting for that heat to get fixed here, but we're getting there, baby. All right, let's turn our attention to Coach Wirtz, who has joined us here magically here on the show. Coach, good afternoon. How you doing this afternoon? And happy Basketball Friday.
Home opener.
All right.
We're excited. Funny thing about Matt Campbell, actually. So Perry guy, just like myself.
Yeah.
We actually grew up in the same house. My parents bought the house from his parents, so we grew up in the same room in terms of growing up. So love the Campbells. Matt Campbell, great coach. That's a great opportunity for him, and I know he'll do great things with that. So that's the first time I'm hearing about it, but that's awesome. So.
We love to break news to the coach here, especially on, like, you got nothing else to worry about.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Your first home game as the head coach. You'll be sitting in the big chair tonight here on the floor at Louisville High School. By the way, congrats on your win the other night against West Branch. We had that one on DPN, our sister station, 44-37. And tonight, the home opener against Perry. And ironically, the two teams that played for state titles a year ago in different divisions facing off tonight. So that's pretty cool. So I guess, how'd it go for you on Tuesday? I mean, I'm sure it was a little nerve-wracking, wasn't it?
So obviously, these guys kind of getting their legs under them. West Branch, good team. They got some height to them. They got some upperclassmen with 5 seniors starting. So we knew it was going to be a little bit different than prior years going in there, especially being at their place. First game for these guys. Started off, well. Defensively played great. Second quarter, as we all know, kind of stalled there, 2 points. I'm hoping that's the worst quarter of the year. Shot 1 for 13 from the 3-point line over the game. So I also told them hopefully that's our worst shooting game. I don't know if we can get much worse than that other than not making anything. But these
Get
guys,
it all out of
yeah,
here.
yeah, exactly. And it's great saying those numbers and still being able to say we scraped out a W in that. So kind of the message at halftime. Could have went in there kind of getting into them, but I already know these guys were stressed out enough. It's a big game for them, so tried to keep their cool, tried to keep my cool. That way we could have some composure there. Big message was stay together. Keep doing what you're doing. Shots aren't falling right now, but they will. We got to pick it up on the defensive end, and those guys came out the second half, held West Branch to 16 points in the second half, ended up pulling out 34 points, so beat them by 18-point deficit there. So they battled through it. They stuck together. That's the way Louisville basketball. That's what we're trying to build in terms of this culture. So it was happy to see a group of young guys not give up, not fold, and stick through it together.
So what was the day like for you? Your first game as head coach, I'm sure you were a little bit nervous. And then to boot, you're going on the road. You're playing a team, proximity-wise, not that far away from you. But how was it, and when did it slow down for you during the game, if it did?
Yeah. So obviously a little nerve-wracking throughout the day. A lot to think about. Obviously the preparation. Few weeks prior to that, we went to scrimmages, we scouted, we did everything we could to put our boys in the best situation. But I told them before the game started, the only reason you're nervous is if you're underprepared. The only reason you're nervous is if you didn't put in the work. And these guys did that. So that kind of gave me a sense of clarity going into it. Before our game started, nerves started to go down. I love this group of guys that we have. Very coachable, hardworking kids. So it was now during the game, after the second quarter, those nerves came back a little bit, but once again, we had to stay calm, keep our composure, play the basketball we know we're capable of playing, and hopefully we're able to show that tonight. So it was a good, nice that it was only 20, 25-minute drive. And then these first two games, obviously that being the first game of my coaching career, I focused a lot on that, and now we have our first home game versus my alma mater. So it's another big game for me, and I'm like, man, the West Branch game, hours before, I'm packing you stuff up to get that ready, to get that out to them this weekend. And I ended up not going to bed till 2 o'clock that night because I was already scouting Perry. So a lot of time, a lot of energy. But once again, I want to make sure our staff wants to make sure we're putting these kids in the best position to win. We believe in their talent. We believe in their abilities. And anything we can do to give them that kind of upper hand, we're more than willing to, and that's what we're working for. So.
No doubt. Head Coach Dave Wirtz and Louisville Leopards here, joining us on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, and all over our social media platforms on X, Facebook, Twitter, and, of course, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. If you're there, hit that subscribe button. We certainly would appreciate it. So tell us about this year's edition of Louisville. Now, I've got the roster here. I got some names jotted down, some familiar Louisville names: Wilson, Bolden, Stouffer, Norris, Doherty, Maddie. But what is this group like, and what did you see out of your starters the other night, and how will you try to go about and build your depth as you move forward?
Right. So we talked to the kids before the season began, probably about a week ago, in terms of what we wanted our identity to be. And we kind of gave them an opportunity to voice their opinions in that, and some of the things they had came up with was a gritty team. We want to communicate. We want to be selfless. We want to be a family. We want to work together and go into war. When we're going into war knowing that we have each other's backs. Mm-hmm. So in terms of the depth that we have, we got a lot of young guys, a lot of sophomores on this team, a lot of juniors on this team. We've got 4 seniors. None of these guys at all have any varsity experience in terms of rotation. Caden Balcom, who's our transfer from Glen Oak, number 10 in our starting lineup, he's probably got the most experience. And even him himself, he doesn't have a ton. So these are guys who are still kind of learning the speed of the game, learning the physicality of the game. But the summer was a huge help for us to kind of get used to that. We had our alumni in terms of Bo, BG, Hayden Nigro, Tate Aljanzik, Avery Andrajic, even Devin Bailey. He's not playing college basketball, but more than capable. Even our assistant coach over there, Drew Meister, his son, Steele Meister, who's playing over at Findlay. They had came in for some open gyms in the summer, and it's like, I'm hoping we're not facing better competition than these guys because we've got an all-Ohio team out here going against us. But it's good for these guys to get pushed around a little bit because it shows them that, once again, this isn't a cakewalk by any means. Just because you're on a varsity court doesn't mean things are easier. But kind of getting that discipline down, getting that grittiness, that willingness to continue even when, you're going against really, really good competition on paper. there's a lot of games this year that we're going to be going against teams who are projected to be better based off those statistics, based off last year's success with other teams. And I keep telling these guys, your job this year, every single game, every time you step on that floor, is to show everybody why Louisville basketball belongs and why we're going to continue the success that we have. And these guys believe in that. They've bought in. And that's all we can ask in terms of the staff. But very, very coachable kids. We're very lucky. We're very lucky with the group of guys we have to take after a really successful senior group last year and a successful coach in terms of Coach Siegfried. So these guys make my job very enjoyable. After a long day of school at the middle school, I come up here and it's like a breath of fresh air. So these guys make it enjoyable every single day. They get after it, and we're ready to go. So.
You mentioned the four seniors, and my next question was going to be before that, what do you expect out of your seniors as far as leadership goes? Well, when they really haven't had a lot of minutes and a lot of action, it might be almost unfair to expect them to take that role in a big, big way. May you be looking maybe at some juniors to kind of help blend that mix in for you early?
Absolutely. So Gabe Stouffer and Colton Norris, and then Cohen Rogers, who's a junior, are our team captains this year. Great leaders. Cohen had some experience last year in terms of JV. I asked him of that responsibility as a sophomore to kind of be that leader on that level and this year as well. And Gabe, lucky for us, although he doesn't have that experience on the basketball court, he was the varsity quarterback this year. So he's got plenty of leadership qualities. Gabe's always been a guy to push these guys. Colton Norris, a little bit quieter in terms of the vocals, but shows his leadership based off his fundamentals, based off his discipline, and doing those things that us coaches ask. So it is a lot of them, but I think a lot of these guys understand that, our mentality this year is no excuses. So they've got to step up. They're ready to step up. Even sophomores sometimes out there are being vocal, a little bit more shy and hesitant on that, but they're getting used to it. Bo Siegfried and BG, they didn't shy away from that when they were younger, and that allowed them to be the players that they were as seniors and now in college. So I'm sure Bo Siegfried's not going to Ashland and he's mute. He's definitely being vocal. So these guys are ready for it. It may be a little unfair in terms of that, but once again, we can't slow down and take any time for that. They've got to step into those roles, and they're ready for them. So.
Dave Wertz, the head basketball coach at Louisville, our guest here on the show, 1310 WDPN. Does it still have a nice little ring to it? Because until somebody does knock you guys out, you are still the defending state champions in Division III. And I know it's a new year, new kids, new coach, new a lot of stuff. But gosh, that still sounds good, doesn't it?
It does sound great. It sounds extra special to be able to say that technically I'm coaching, the defending states, the state champions right now, and technically we're number one. So hopefully we can keep that going for as long as possible. But these guys want to make their own run this year. So although there's a lot of stuff in the past that we're very grateful for, very happy for, it's obviously helped us with our culture this year. But once again, these guys also understand the past is the past, the present the present, the future is the future, and these guys are the present and future. So they've kind of got to make their own success stories in terms of that, and they're going to do everything they can in order for that to happen. But I'd be remorse and lying if I said it wasn't nice to be able to say that we're still in the number one seed.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, we are until we aren't.
Right.
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? Of course, when you go back in the lore of Louisville basketball, Coach Bill Edens did a phenomenal job here, and then Coach Siggs takes over. Hard work, hard schedule, working them, and then they get the state championship a year ago. How long do you think will it take for Coach Wertz to put his 100% stamp on this program?
That's a great question, man. I guess that's going to depend based off this year. Take it one step at a time. But as of right now, I'm focused on one game at a time. I'm not focused on making a legacy for myself. I'm focused on continuing that success of Louisville basketball. You obviously, as a young coach, you don't want to be the guy who stops success of a program or be that guy who everybody says, it fell apart under his watch. So I know I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that doesn't happen, but my goal is not for personal success in terms of that. My goal is to see these kids win championships, win basketball games, become better people, become better young men. And I feel like if I'm doing that, then wins or losses, I can feel like I'm having a successful career. I'm doing my job. Obviously, these guys, in terms of students, that comes first. Academics, we've already had a couple of times where guys have had to step off of practice for a little bit and focus on their schoolwork. And they're kind of getting that message as well. Once again, they're students first. And I think that's important because in education, especially now, it's easy for athletes with college and NIL and everything like that to kind of shy away from the important things in terms of learning those soft skills, those hard skills in school, and you kind of just start focusing about sports. But I tell them all the time, if I'm going to trust you on the basketball court, I got to be able to trust you in the classroom. And these guys understand that. They do a great job with it. Those seniors step up in that role. I anticipate having a lot of high academic kids this year in terms of scholars and whatnot. So, but my own stamp on it. How long? That's the question. That's the $1 million question. But I can confidently say that every day we're trying to create a better and better culture. Every way, shape, and form. We tell them at practice 1% every single day, and I'm sure you've heard that quote before. 1% every day, but we can't get caught up with tournament success right now. We've got 21 games left before we get there. I told these guys, we play West Branch, we're 1-0. Now our focus is Perry, go 2-0. We're not focused on anybody else yet. I'm sure after this game tonight, I'll start focusing on Alliance on Tuesday. But as of right now, our full focus is on Perry. It's a very good team, well coached. Obviously, they went to states last year. They got a lot more guys returning than we did. And once again, to some people, we're looking like the underdog here, but I can't explain how confident I am in my kids. So in terms of the culture, in terms of success, that's the question. But I love this group of guys that we have, and I'd like to see that this year. So,
yeah, you never know. I mean, who knew last year what was going to happen? We had two teams go play for a state title, so you never know. Dave Orch is our guest here, the head coach of Louisville. A couple more quick ones, and we'll let Coach fly. He's got some stuff he needs to do, I'm sure. I wasn't going to bring it up, but then I was, and I forgot, and then you brought it up. NIL. Past, it's now reality. It's a real thing in the state of Ohio. Do you guys have any conversations about that? And if so, what are they, and what are the first couple of steps to even deal with something like that?
Yeah.
If and when it happens, and I'm sure it will at some point.
Yeah, and I'm learning. I'm trying to learn more and more about it, especially at the high school level. As a young coach, you got so many things to focus on, and then all of a sudden NIL gets brought up as a first-year head coach, and you're like, what is going on? With us being a smaller school, I don't anticipate NIL being beneficial to us. I would anticipate maybe some of those private schools where kids can move a little bit easier as compared to sitting out in terms of transfers and whatnot. So I'm not extremely educated on it, so I don't want to say anything and then have to take anything back. But I would say if I had a vote on it, my vote would be no. I think these kids have enough to worry about in terms of school, in terms of sports, in terms of being young men. But I can also understand the fact that there's some really successful kids in Ohio. They want to make some money. I get that, absolutely. I don't blame them whatsoever in terms of that. But I think that NIL, in terms of affecting anything, it's going to keep affecting those big-time players. Darren Peterson, I imagine him going to a preparatory school kind of allowed for a little bit of easier fluctuation in terms of that. There's probably some other big names in terms of that. And, Darren Peterson being a number 1, number 2 NBA draft prospect. I actually coached against him when he was in 7th grade. And
he's pretty good then.
I'm not surprised that he is where he's at. So I get it. Kids want to make money. They want to look after their families. And like I said, I don't necessarily know if NIL is going to affect us too much. Maybe get these guys a free cheeseburger or two here and there. But I don't anticipate that being a super beneficial thing for us. If it does pass and that becomes a thing, I'll do my best to try to make sure we take advantage of it in every way, shape, and form. But
absolutely,
right now we're just making sure that we're playing basketball the right way, getting better, and that's our focus. So,
well, I just happened to take a peek over at the scoreboard, and I think at the bottom of the scoreboard you got everything you need. If you need gear, Beatty's. If you want to go eat chicken, you got Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
Dr. Mike can get you some braces.
Yep,
Dr. Maddie will put some glasses on you. And if you want a car, you go see Ted. I mean, you guys are all set.
Right.
See how easy that was?
Yeah, we got some great supporters, that's for sure.
Well, Coach, thanks for coming up today. I appreciate it. congratulations again on everything. I know it's been a quick mover for you. You got the first one in your pocket, and you'll try to get number 2 here against Perry. Good luck tonight, and good luck against Alliance and the rest of the way. And we'll be sure to reach out to you and try to get you on the show as we go along.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Thank you,
man. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
I apologize. My hands are like ice cubes right now. There is Dave Wirtz, the head I keep wanting to say maybe head basketball coach here at Louisville, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. All right, before we go to break, I want to check a couple quick texts and a couple quick alerts here. As far as Matt Campbell leaving Iowa State and presumably going to Penn State to be the new head football coach of the Penn State Nittany Lions. Got word from a couple of folks that I trust that say it is a done deal. Haven't seen anything yet on the. Hold on one sec. Yeah, can you send one up, maybe? Yeah, whoever you want, coach. Gonna have one of the Louisville kids come up here maybe in the next couple of minutes. So I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's take a real quick break, and we'll come back with more here from Louisville. We got to get a couple of things ironed out quick, and we'll be back. Stay with us, 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Mount Union basketball is live all season long on AM 1310 WDPN, presented by SARTA. Join myself, Sam Bourquin, and Ryan Keller courtside as we bring you every heart-pounding moment. And this year, we're taking Purple Raider hoops even farther. You can now listen live and for free on AM 1310 WDPN Facebook page, the 1310X page, and the Q92 YouTube channel. Mount Union basketball lives on AM 1310 WDPN, your home for Purple Raider basketball, presented by SARTA. AM 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Thanks to Coach Dave Wirtz of Louisville for hanging out with us here for a little bit on the show. Don't forget tonight, we get a couple of basketball games for you here on the AM. Christian will have the call of Salem and Alliance. That will be at 6:45 pregame or so. The tip will be at 7. I will be with my partner Lee Foster as we go courtside with Sammy B and Lee tonight on Q92 as the Louisville Leopards take on the Perry Panthers here in Louisville. That'll be on Q92 tonight again, right around 7 o'clock. And we'll update you on all the other high school games as well as the OHSAA championship games. There's a couple, 2 or 3 college football games tonight. Conference championships. We'll keep you in the loop on those as well. Last I saw over at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, it was still Columbus Bishop Watterson over Toledo Central Catholic by the score of 17-0. Let me try to pull this feed up here real quick one more time before we go to the break at the top of the hour and get you the latest update there. The latest still looks like 17-0 Bishop Watterson in the third quarter. That's what I'm seeing right now. So, yeah, still 17-0
in favor of Bishop Watterson. That is the Division III state championship game. Last night, if you missed it, Avon got the Division II title. They beat Cincinnati Anderson 37-20. And then earlier today, the Division IV state title at Tom Benson. It was the Tarblooders of Cleveland Glenville as they knocked off Shelby. Well, they did more than knock them off. They knocked them out 45-7. Congratulations to Coach Ted Ginn of the Tarblooders for getting that one. Okay, let me see here. Mick says Buckeyes win by 17 or more over Indiana. Sean says Ohio State 28, Indiana 27. Ryan Day screams about where Lee Corso is right now in the game interview. Chad says Ohio State 42, Indiana 21. Sam, give us the line for the OAC game on Saturday. John Carroll and Mount Union. Now, why would somebody ask me to come up with a line for a sporting event? Where do you get that stuff? Joey Cooper says, what is up, Sammy B? Joey, thanks for tuning in and listening to the show. Make sure that while you're on our social medias today, Q92 Radio, YouTube channel, X, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff, make sure you drop those comments, say hello, let us know you're out there. We'll shout you out during the program, and we'll converse with you as well.
You know what, Sam?
Yes, sir.
I think if anybody is qualified to give Mount Union a line, it's probably you.
It probably is, but we don't do that. We don't do that. They still don't have the heat on yet in this gymnasium. It is absolutely freezing. I'm hoping that they get this fixed before too much longer. So, folks, if you're coming to the game tonight here in Louisville, if you're a Perry fan, a Louisville fan, you're a Stark County Hoops, you just want to hang out, wear a coat and bring the coat inside, okay? Because you might need it, because the door is going to be constantly open and closing because people are going to be coming in from the outdoors. And you might need it. You might want to wear some gloves today before they get the heat fixed. All right. Let's take a break. It is 5 o'clock. The news and the weather is coming up. We'll come back with one more big hour. Lee Foster from Courtside will join me around 5:35. We'll talk a little Leps Panthers. We'll talk a little Stark County High School hoops. We'll continue to update the high school football state championship games. We'll be on the Matt Campbell Watch, the Penn State. And we got a whole lot more coming your way here on the Sam Bourquin Show. The news is next. Stay with us. 1310 WDPN.
Keeping Alliance entertained and informed for over a half a century. AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A CDC vaccine advisory panel has voted to change recommendations on giving the hepatitis B vaccine to newborns, something health experts and doctors have done since 1991. The panel, handpicked by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., voted to leave the decision up to parents. ABC News contributor Dr. Alok Patel says parents already had that choice.
Since 1991, when we got a universal recommendation, cases of hepatitis B in this country have dropped from 95 to 99%. Hundreds of studies recently were pulled together in a review to show that this shot is extremely effective and it's very safe. And moving that goal line can put a lot more children at risk when they don't need to be.
Brian Cole Jr., the suspect arrested in connection with the DNC and RNC pipe bomb incidents in Washington, D.C. in 2021, made his court appearance today. Sources tell ABC News Cole admitted to investigators during an interview that he planted the bombs. This is ABC News.
This holiday season, Rachel will get Anna a fabulous faux fur coat. Anna will say Rachel shouldn't have, but Rachel didn't. Because Rachel will only have to spend $75 on a coat Anna thinks costs $200. But then again, it's what she thought that counts. Yes, JCPenney. Higher price reflects comparable national brand. Price valid through 12/7. Some exclusions apply. See coupon for details.
This is the story of the one.
As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. ODOT says a snowplow was struck while merging onto northbound I-77 from the Everhard Road ramp in Jackson Township Tuesday afternoon. Another vehicle made an improper lane change and collided with the plow. The Highway Patrol says the driver of the second vehicle, a 64-year-old Perry Township man, suffered minor injuries. The plow driver was not hurt. ODOT District 4 posted video of the incident on their Facebook page. Authorities are urging drivers to slow down and give snowplow crews plenty of room. This winter, 8 snowplows have been struck across Ohio. Bond is set at $1.5 million for a Canton Township man accused of stabbing his parents. 49-year-old Joshua Schaefer was arraigned in Canton Municipal Court today. He is charged with attempted murder, felonious assault, domestic violence, and disrupting public services. Schaefer allegedly stabbed his 71-year-old mother and father at their Carnwise Street Southeast home Wednesday afternoon. The mother was taken to Altman Hospital with life-threatening injuries. The father was being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Both were listed in stable condition. Schaefer is scheduled to return to court for a status conference Tuesday. For the 6th straight year, the Timken Company is listed as one of Newsweek's most responsible companies. President and CEO Lucien Boldia says the company leads with integrity and transparency, invests in safer workplaces and sustainable practices, supports our communities, and designs products that improve efficiency for our customers. The Canton-based manufacturer is recognized in the capital goods category and is among 600 honorees across 14 industries. 2 additional suspects in a 2021 murder case in East Liverpool were arraigned Tuesday. 29-year-old Curtis Holland and 25-year-old Travis Kidder of East Liverpool were taken into custody by the U.S. Marshals Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force last month after a Columbiana County grand jury indicted them on murder and aggravated murder charges. The charges stem from the July 2021 shooting death of 20-year-old Bryson Douglas at a home on Pennsylvania Avenue. Investigators say he was not the intended target of the shooting. Elvin Tisdale was sentenced to life, and Alan Tisdale received a sentence of at least 10 years in the case. A woman lost $40,000 in a PayPal scam this week. Boardman police say she received an email Tuesday claiming a $500 purchase on her account and a phone number to call. She spoke to a scammer who tricked her into buying $4,000 in gift cards, withdrawing $21,000 in cash, and converting $15,000 to Bitcoin. She handed $21,000 to a man in a parking lot before a friend intervened. No arrests had been made. The victim later discovered no fraud had occurred. Michaela Glenn has been found guilty by a jury of murder and aggravated burglary in Youngstown. The 36-year-old was accused of luring Edward Lewis into a home on Oneida Street and shooting him out of jealousy in October 2023. The 53-year-old's body was discovered 2 days later, and his girlfriend later provided information to police. The jury had deliberated since Thursday afternoon before returning the guilty verdict today. Sentencing will take place at a later date. Glenn was secretly indicted in April, and his trial began Tuesday in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court. His attorney argued there was no physical evidence linking him to the crime. Austintown police say a staged robbery attempt in an apartment led to Wednesday afternoon's double shooting at the Compass West Apartments. 2 people were hospitalized, 1 in critical condition. Officers recovered 2 handguns and shell casings at the scene. 23-year-old Miklo Delgado of Youngstown was arrested on charges including felonious assault, improper discharge of a firearm, and tampering with evidence. He was arraigned today in Mahoning County Court, where bond was set at $500,000. A preliminary hearing is set for Monday. A former corrections officer has been charged in an officer-involved shooting in Austintown. 33-year-old Jacob Hall faces charges of discharging a firearm into a home and inducing panic, plus aggravated menacing and using weapons while intoxicated. The incident happened Sunday at his North Yorkshire Boulevard home after Hall made homicidal and suicidal threats. Police shot Hall, who was taken to the hospital and is in stable condition. No arraignment date has been set. Plaintiffs have reached a settlement in a lawsuit against Ursuline High School and the Youngstown Catholic Diocese. The plaintiff, known as Jane Doe, her son, and a third person filed suit in September, alleging a football player was a subject of hazing and sexual abuse during a team trip in June. The high school, diocese, and other defendants responded to the suit Monday, defending their actions in the case. A motion filed Thursday in federal court says the plaintiff agreed to dismiss civil liabilities for hazing, criminal acts, and civil battery against 3 defendants. The Ohio Supreme Court has indefinitely suspended board government attorney Anthony Fusco for his conviction in an insurance fraud scheme that defrauded companies of nearly $1 million. Fusco, who pleaded guilty in 2022 and served time in prison, will not receive credit for time served under his interim suspension. He can apply for reinstatement in 2 years. In a separate case, the court suspended lawyer Greg Rossi for 6 months after he lied to a judge and drafted a legal agreement to prevent a domestic violence victim from cooperating with prosecutors. Rossi must also complete ethics training before reinstatement. A deadly crash in Trumbull County has led to a woman's sentence for vehicular manslaughter. On May 12th, 32-year-old Jessica Scialaba of Orwell struck a buggy on State Route 87 in Mesopotamia Township. A 25-year-old woman and a 2-year-old boy were injured. The woman lost her unborn child. Scialaba pleaded guilty in Newton Falls Municipal Court and was handed 1 year of probation and a 1-year driver's license suspension Thursday. A 90-day jail term was suspended. A man who pleaded guilty to extortion was sentenced Thursday in federal court for attempting to smuggle drugs and a cell phone into the Trumbull County Correctional Institution. James Jackson of Niles was a maintenance worker at the Leavittsburg facility who had access to non-public areas, including inmate cells. He was given a 30-month sentence. Jackson reportedly agreed to deliver the drugs and the phone to an inmate in February 2024 in exchange for $2,000. Cleveland police are searching for 46-year-old Ricky Williams, accused of killing a man Tuesday night on the city's east side. Authorities say Williams shot 51-year-old Ejiro Williams and dragged him from a car in the St. Clair Superior neighborhood. The victim was pronounced dead at University Hospital's Cleveland Medical Center. Police say video shows the suspect and victim together earlier in the day. Williams is considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information is asked to call Cleveland police or Crime Stoppers with tip rewards up to $5,000. A former Lorain County corrections officer has been found not guilty of breaking an inmate's neck. Brian Tellier faced charges of felonious assault and tampering with records. He told the jury the injury to Jeff Fry was an accident, saying he reacted in a split second when Fry pulled away during a trip. Defense attorneys said his actions were justified. Tellier was indicted earlier this year, suspended without pay, and later fired. The incident happened in May 2023 when Fry was arrested on a misdemeanor bench warrant. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced $5 million in funding for pediatric cancer research. The grants will be distributed among 5 hospitals and research organizations, including Cincinnati Children's, Cleveland Clinic, Dayton Children's, Maple Tree Cancer Alliance, and Nationwide Children's Hospital. The money will support studies aimed at improving detection and treatment of childhood cancers, including a blood-based screening method to monitor high-risk children. More than 80% of Ohio children diagnosed with cancer now survived, up from about 20% in the 1970s, but officials say more research is needed. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 47,954, up 104 points. The Nasdaq Composite ended 73 points higher at 23,578, and the S&P 500 closed at 6,870, up 13 points. It's 26 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunshine galore for your Friday afternoon. Not a big warm up today. A high near 31 degrees, light southerly winds. Overnight clouds moving in with a low near 19. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Barnes gets the goal. Second down and 8. To the end zone. Open touchdown. Isaac Tesla with the score. 12 yards, 46 seconds in regulation.
Reeves. There he goes. Reeves to James. Kick it. Corner. Rui the winner. To win the game! Rui wins it! And James gave him the basketball!
Home to inbounds. And it comes to Tyrese Maxey. Guarded by his former teammates. Tyrese Maxey to win the game! And it goes! DeAnthony Melton blocks! And the Sixers
You gotta love that. You gotta love that horn for hockey. Some good highlights here last night. NBA, college hoops, NHL. How about the Blue Jackets beat the Red Wings last night on the ice? Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show. Speaking of ice, welcome to Louisville. It is freezing inside the gym. Oh, they're working on the heat, though. They're working on it. Welcome back, everybody. AM 1310 WDPN. It is the Sam Bourquin Show. It is a fill-in-the-blank Friday. That fill-in-the-blank Friday question is real simple. Give me your final score prediction for Ohio State and Indiana Saturday night for the Big Ten Championship. It's right up on your screen right there. Fill in that blank. The final score of the Big Ten title game will be blank. Who do you got? Ohio State, Indiana, and give me your score. What do you think is going to happen coming up at Lucas Oil Stadium tomorrow night? We got a lot of great stuff in so far today, and we'll continue to bring those scores to you. Predictions and get you all involved here on a Friday afternoon. Text line is open 330-924-7088. 330-924-7088. Coming up tonight on 1310 WDPN, Christian will have the call of Salem and Alliance at 7 over on Q92, 92.5 FM. Me and my partner, Lee Foster, we'll go courtside with Sammy B and Lee right here, Louisville and Perry. That tip off around 7 o'clock on Q92. Also, if you're out and about today on the old internet and you're checking us out on Facebook, on X, on Twitter, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, WDPN, social media pages, make sure you comment on what we got going on today. Let us know what's going on in your world, and we'll interact with you that way. And don't forget, on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We certainly would appreciate that. Sam, I think Mount Union by 18.5 tomorrow against John Carroll. We'll see. We'll see. Mount Union, John Carroll tomorrow at noon, WDPN. Myself and Ryan Mabir will have the play-by-play for you, and then Ryan and I will pack up and head across the lot over to the Mac Center. We can bring you college basketball tomorrow afternoon at 4 as Mount Union will take on Otterbein. This is a sneaky good early season OAC game. Mount Union will come in at 7-0 tomorrow. Otterbein is 5-1, okay? So good college football tomorrow at noon, good college basketball tomorrow at 4, right here, AM 1310 WDPN and all of our social media platforms. JV game getting ready to go here in about 18 minutes or so between Perry and Louisville. They'll have their warm-ups, and then the big fellas will take the court tonight for the Leopards and the Panthers. And we talked to Dave Wertz, the new head basketball coach at Louisville, a little bit ago. Hey, Louisville's still the defending champions in Division III. Still the defending state champions. You're the champ until you're not. So they still kind of carry that. And as far as Perry's concerned, I mean, what the heck? They made it all the way to the state championship game last year. Division II. Made it to the final. Came up a little bit short. But, hey, no shame there. And Coach Fall and his staff had a great run a year ago. Of course, Coach Siegfried and his staff had a great run a year ago. Talked to Coach Siggs before during one of the timeouts of the show today. He came in and we were talking about some stuff on the floor. And of course, Bo is over at Ashland, going to be playing some hoop for Ashland. So still a lot of basketball within the Siegfried family going on. Of course, most of those kids, I should say most, but a pretty good number of them went on to play college basketball. Ashland, there's a couple of good ones over at Walsh. And that was just a great team. That was a very good basketball team. So we'll see what happens here tonight. New year, new team, new staff, a lot of new everything. And we're excited to bring this game to you on 92.5 FM tonight, Louisville Perry. And, of course, here on WDPN, we will have J.R. Jackson and Alliance as they will take on the Salem Quakers over at the historic Harry Fales Gymnasium. All right, still trying to. Got an update on the football game over at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Late third now, kind of a blowout. I'm a little surprised here. Columbus Bishop Watterson 23, and Toledo Central Catholic nothing. I thought TCC would give them a better game, but this is a really good Bishop Watterson team. They're up 23-0 in the third quarter. Got an email from Buck. He says, Sammy, good afternoon. It's 60 degrees and sunny out here in beautiful Las Vegas. Beer cans are popping and other things are flopping.
You can see
why that's the theme today on the Strip in Las Vegas. Buck, thanks for checking in. Enjoy the sun and enjoy the golf, and have yourself a great weekend. And we'll touch base with you when you get back into town. Text line open 330-924-7088, or if you're watching us on any of the streams right now, like a lot of you are on YouTube, on X, and on Facebook, there's a link there. It says Talk Here with Sam. You can hit that link, and we'll get you right into the virtual studio, and we can talk with you that way. We're coming up on about 19, 20 minutes after 5. Don't forget, on this day in sports history coming up in about 28 minutes past the hour. Taking a look here at trying to find Coach Hall. There he is, Coach Ball, over there on the sidelines with Perry. Coach Schwartz is down here talking to a couple of the JV officials, making sure they're all squared away and have everything that they need. So what do you think? Ohio State and Indiana tomorrow night. That's our fill-in-the-blank Friday. Give me your score. Give me your prediction on Ohio State and Indiana for the Big Ten championship game tomorrow night. I know we mentioned this earlier in the show. Did you see the get-in ticket prices right now for that game? $700-800 to get in to see that ball game. So tell me, what's up, brother? How are you? Ooh, put those bad boys on. Got a young man come up here. I'm just gonna ask him who he is because they don't have a uniform on.
Yeah.
What's your name, up, man?
I'm Cohen Rogers, sir.
Cohen Rogers. All right, Cohen. Hey, thanks for coming up and chatting with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Excited to get things cooking here tonight and at home and see what you got.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I think we have one of the best environments in the county.
Oh yeah,
it's electric in here. I'm excited.
I agree. You know, we were here a lot last year. You guys had some big games, some last-minute wins. You had some court storming going on last year, and of course, you know, defending Division III state champions. What was the offseason like for you, and what are you expecting out of yourself and the group coming up here this year? Let me get you on camera here, my man. There we go.
I mean, we had a lot of off-season workouts. I mean, same as it's always been, and I think the expectation is the same. I mean, we're going to play hard. We're going to play physical, and we got a lot of work in over the offseason.
Yeah. So what was it like making the transition now from Coach Siggs to Coach Schwartz? You doing some things a little bit differently? Has a lot stayed the same? What's that been like?
It's definitely been a little weird. I mean, I've had Coach Schwartz as my coach for the past 2 years on JV, and along with a lot of my teammates. So I think it's the same expectation. I mean, we're going to play hard just like we always have, and I feel like we share the ball. We got a good team chemistry.
What's your favorite thing about hooping?
Oh, that's a good one. I think definitely playing with my teammates. I mean, these are memories they'll last a lifetime, and that's my favorite part of it.
When did you start playing basketball seriously? At what age was it?
I started playing basketball at, I think it was 5 years old.
Okay.
My preschool teacher, her son played, and I sat in the front row down there and watched him play.
Okay.
So that's when I fell in love, and I've just played ever since.
Wow. Who's your favorite? You got a favorite NBA player right now?
My favorite NBA
I'll tell you what.
player?
You give me two. I'll make it easier
Okay,
for you.
2. That's a tough one. I'm a big Duke guy, so I like Paulo Banchero.
And,
yeah. Cooper Flag.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Pablo's a player.
Yeah,
he's a player.
Yeah.
Cooper Flag, I think he's even better than I thought he was going to be early in his NBA career. He was so much fun to watch at Duke, and he gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He can play. He can play in the NBA. When you get on the floor, whether it's for practice or a game, how do you mentally prepare yourself to get ready?
Oh, so I'm a big Christian. That's my faith, and I honestly just talk to God before I get on the floor, before I play a game, and I play every time like it's my last. Like that's every opportunity.
That's a great approach.
Yeah, every opportunity you get to do it, you don't have to.
Cohen Rogers is our guest. Well, I got you down here, young man. Number 20?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll be watching you tonight. As far as your routine on game day, whether it's a Tuesday or a Friday, maybe a Saturday, you get up in the morning. Take us through that day as you get ready.
So I get up. I'm a slow guy in the morning. Yeah.
Good. I like this guy already.
Yeah, that's how I am. I just go to school like I normally do. It's not anything different.
Yeah.
I just go about my day, and I try not to think about the game too much. I normally get some Subway after school and go home, relax a little bit, and I go to our local My Fit Life and I stretch before I come here, watch the JV guys, and then I'm ready to play by 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Do you guys have a favorite song or hype songs that you guys get ready for in the locker room, or does everybody kind of do their own thing?
We kind of just do our own thing, and we come out and play together.
Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you coming up today. We wish you nothing but the best. Stay healthy. And I know we'll probably get a lot more games with you this year, but if we don't see you before the holiday, have a great Christmas and enjoy and go get them, all right?
Happy holidays.
All right, appreciate
Thank
it, man.
you.
There you go. Colton Rogers of the Louisville Leopards, kind enough to spend some time with us here on the show, 1310 WDPN. Before his Louisville Leopards get ready to take on the Prairie Panthers tonight, we'll have that over on our sister station, Q92. 92.5 FM. Update over at Benson, still 23-0 Columbus Watterson over Toledo Central Catholic. Some folks have been asking me, Sammy, how have the crowds been at the football games? Last night there was about 4,500 for Avon and Cincinnati Anderson. And earlier today for Glenville Shelby, they had about 6,500 for the Division II. I saw some shots of the crowd for the Watterson-Toledo Central game. Didn't look like a whole lot of folks. I'm gonna maybe say like 4,000, maybe 4,400. Tonight it's Olentangy Orange and Cincinnati St. X, the Division I game. We should have a little bigger crowd tonight over at Benson for that one. All right, we are going to. Should we step out here yet? No, we're gonna keep it here. I'm gonna get you a couple more of our predictions from our illustrious audience out there, as far as predicting the outcome for tomorrow night's Ohio State Indiana game. Still looking for maybe some concrete stuff for Matt Campbell and Penn State. And I haven't seen anything like I'm getting some stuff from some folks locally whom I trust. They say it's done, but I haven't seen anything on the national level as far as it being a done deal with Matt Campbell leaving Iowa State to go to Penn State. Haven't seen anything official on the national level yet, but we got some oars in the water here locally, and they think it's as close to a done deal as it's going to get. So we'll continue to keep on top of that as well. Oh, boy, we got a whole lot more predictions that have come in here since I last looked at the phone. Jameson says Ohio State 35, Indiana 24. Jim says Ohio State 28-24. His brother Tim says Buckeyes 31-14. I may have those switched around, but everybody likes Ohio State there as far as the Kincaid family is concerned. Rick Salvino checks in. Sam, who cares? Game does not matter. Laughing emoji. Pam says Buckeyes 21, Indiana 9. Go Bucks. Samuel E. Altamore the fourth checking in. Sam, hope you're well. Buckeyes 35-17. His prediction for tomorrow night. All right, I'm going to give you mine. I've been saying this since Wednesday. If you've been listening Wednesday, you've been listening Thursday. Here's what I got. I got a tough game. I've got Indiana even maybe taking the lead in this ball game. I think Ohio State will settle in, and I think they may pull away with a late touchdown in the fourth quarter. I've got Ohio State 31 and Indiana 17. All right? Now, don't get on FanDuel and don't run to the window at the win in Vegas. That's what I'm going to go with. Ohio State 31 and Indiana 17. The Buckeyes will pick up another Big Ten championship, and then they'll get ready for the run for another natty coming up here during the next several weeks. So that's my prediction. What's yours? What do you think? Final score, Ohio State, Indiana. Get that to us on your social media platforms. You can also text anytime at 330-924-7088. Now we will take a break. We'll come back with On This Day in Sports History next, 1310 WDPN.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score, and it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love, and if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
This Saturday afternoon at 12 noon on AM 1310 WDPN, a couple of old friends get together. The Mount Union Purple Raiders take on the John Carroll Blue Streaks in a Round 3 NCAA Division III college football playoff game live from Karis Stadium. This is Sam Bourquin. Join me and my partner Ryan Bevere Saturday afternoon as the Purple Raiders take on the Blue Streaks for the right to keep moving on in the Division III college football playoffs. Catch all the action at noon this Saturday right here on your home of the Purple Raiders, AM 1310 WDPN and Q92radiosports.com. AM 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show live here from Louisville. We got time for On This Day in Sports History. It is going to be a quick one. On this day in 1982, Mel Gray ended an NFL streak of 121 consecutive games with receptions. On this day in 1983, the video arcade game NFL Football was unveiled in Chicago. It was the first video arcade game to be licensed by the National Football League. On this day in 2000, the mailman, Karl Malone of the Jazz, moved past Wilt Chamberlain into second place on the all-time NBA all-time scoring list. That is a quick On This Day in Sports History. Next, it's the news at the bottom of the hour with Jeff Mears, and we'll come back with one more big half hour to go here on the Sam Bourquin Show. AM 1310 WDPN, and of course you can catch us on the live stream on all of our social media platforms. Stay with us, more to come on a Fill in the Blank Friday, live from Louisville.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. The Supreme Court has agreed to hear arguments in a case that directly challenges the legality of President Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy reports.
In agreeing to take the case, the High Court signals it's ready to decide whether the president can, by executive order, determine that children born to parents here illegally or on temporary visas aren't citizens. Lower courts have resoundingly rejected the White House's view, citing the 14th Amendment and prior Supreme Court rulings on birthright citizenship that date back more than a century. Now the justices will hear arguments on both sides of the issue, likely next spring.
The man accused of placing a pair of pipe bombs outside the headquarters of the Republican and Democratic National Parties in Washington on the eve of the January 6th riot at the Capitol confessed to the act in interviews with investigators. That's according to two people familiar with the matter who spoke to the Associated Press. The people said Brian Cole Jr. also indicated that he believed the 2020 election was stolen and expressed views supportive of President Trump. During Cole's initial court appearance today, a prosecutor said the 30-year-old suspect from Woodbridge, Virginia, spoke to law enforcement officers for over 4 hours after his arrest on Thursday. Cole didn't enter a plea to explosives charges during the hearing. Another boat strike this week in the Caribbean by the U.S. military has led to the deaths of 4 more people. 87 in total have been killed in the strikes in the region so far. And the White House says the military is going after drug traffickers. President Trump has made threats against Venezuela and President Maduro and has even threatened to move U.S. troops in for a ground invasion. ABC's Matt Rivers, who is at port in Trinidad and Tobago, says the U.S. and Venezuela haven't cut off contact just yet.
Maduro coming out saying that he had another phone call with President Trump. He described it as cordial between both presidents. He said they talked about diplomacy and the opportunities for peace. And so both sides are still talking.
Argentina and Lionel Messi will play Algeria to open its World Cup title defense as part of a group that also includes Austria. The United States was drawn to start against Paraguay at Inglewood, California on June 12th, a day after Mexico hosts the opener against South Africa. The U.S. reached the semifinals at the inaugural World Cup in 1930 and has gotten as far as the quarterfinals only one other time in 2002. President Trump, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney selected the balls of their own countries from bowls during a ceremony at the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. It's 25 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunny skies for your Friday afternoon. It's going to be chilly all day long. Our high 31 degrees. Overnight, cloudy skies moving in with a low of 19. Wear that warm coat. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
WDPN, welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show as we come to you live from Louisville tonight. Our FM game as we go courtside with Sammy B and Lee, Louisville and Perry at 7. If you want to check out the Christians broadcast tonight here on 1310 WDPN, it will be Salem going against our guy, J.R. Jackson and the Alliance Aviators. That'll be at 6:45 pregame. And the tip at 7 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. So we got you covered tonight. AM hoops, FM hoops. And we hope you could just hang out with us tonight. It's cold. Just, if you're not coming out to the gyms tonight, just kind of stay in, stay warm, and listen to us. Sam, are you doing Louisville Perry tonight? Yes, that will be on 92.5 FM, Q92 radio. Still 23 zip. Bishop Watterson over Toledo Central Catholic. That ball game is moving into the fourth quarter at Tom Benson. We had a couple of blowouts today. Glenville all over Shelby, 45-7. Last night it was Avon, and that game wasn't that close either. Avon beat Cincinnati Anderson by the score of 37-20. Big boy game tonight, Division I. I think this will be a pretty good game. Olentangy Orange going up against Cincinnati St. X, and that's about 7:30 to kick off over at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. As you can probably tell, action in the background as the JV game has begun with Louisville and Perry. Varsity will follow on Q92 later on tonight around 7 o'clock or so. I got here today about 1:50 or so, and walked in and I felt like, gosh, I just feel like we were here not that long ago watching the court storming. Holy smokes. Louisville, who'd they court storm that night? Was it Ignatius, Eds?
We did both of those.
Which one was the buzzer beater?
Not Eds. They beat up. So I think it was.
I think it was Iggy.
Yeah.
That's right. It was Iggy.
Yeah.
So
I looked through the old scorebooks today, and they beat Eds by like 16.
Yeah,
and the
that's right.
Ignatius game was close. BG laid it in at the buzzer.
That's right, because we were down on the floor.
Yeah,
way down on the floor. That's where we were due because last year, I mean, the media crush was
all over
was unbelievable. So a little bit more tame tonight. That's why we're up here in the roost. And I got to tell you, I kind of like it up here now when it's not as crowded.
Yes.
This is a good view. Lee Foster, my partner courtside at Sammy B and Lee, is here. fresh out of the casino. I mean, he just came up to spend some time with us today. We got basketball later on tonight. Don't forget tomorrow, college football, basketball doubleheader on 1310. Mount Union, John Carroll at noon for football, and then hoops tomorrow afternoon at 4 as John Carroll will take on Otterbein. Ryan Bevere will join me for both tomorrow here on 1310 WDPN and all of our social media platforms. All right, so Tuesday night we had McKinley St. V.
Yep.
And we saw a very athletic group for Sean Weatherspoon. We saw a team that all they're going to do is get better.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And I was impressed with what I saw early.
Yeah, and they didn't have keys on the floor because he had to get stitched up with his eye. And he came back, and they're going to be really good. Trust me, as they move along. Now tonight we get a couple of teams. Look, nobody's blowing any smoke about these teams going back to Dayton. That's not even a part of the equation, and that comes from players, coaches, and whatever.
Right.
But that's what we were saying a year ago. And Perry went on that crazy run. We thought maybe Louisville had a shot. At D3, we thought they did. But this is a whole new year, and a nice backstory here that both these teams went to the state championship games in Division 2 and 3, respectively. And again, lots of faces have changed. Louisville's got a new coach, but still kind of cool that these teams are meeting early, and you can reminisce a little bit about last year, but it's full steam ahead.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool when we just put the schedule together. It was like, man, the two state final teams playing one another. Why wouldn't we do that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's cool. I mean, Perry, I just talked to Matt Bull when I walked in, and he's pretty excited about his group, even though it's new. He's telling me, hey, they had a couple kids, Preston Daisy obviously decides to play football, and I think had a shoulder injury of some sort where he's not going to play hoops. But they had a couple more, Sammy, a couple more guys. He was telling me about a football guy, a baseball guy, a baseball guy that were playing this summer. So we played Brunswick, and we smoked them. And he goes, that's with Drexler, that's with Barnett, that's with all those dudes they have up there with Coach Mackey. And he said that those guys decided to not, obviously Preston hurt his shoulder, the baseball kid didn't come back out. He said, no, we still have, I know some names on the Perry roster.
Like, to me, okay, Haley,
yep,
Martelli,
yep,
Luchitz,
yep, Woolheater,
Nasir
Foster. Yeah,
and then everybody else is kind of
there's some
working their way.
There's another Martelli. Obviously, they've got a huge kid wearing 55. He said he's a football guy that's coming along. He said he's like 6'6", 300 pounds. He's huge.
Okay, I see him down there on the bench now. Holy cow!
And Coach Wirtz came on earlier, and thank him for coming on your show. He's texting me their starters and who they're going to play, and I'm like, I don't know any of these guys. I mean, the names ring a bell because they've got Louisville lineage to them,
right?
But I don't know any of them.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what they look like because I don't have a good feel for what the Leopards are going to put on the floor.
Well, it's very early as far as our broadcast, which we won't start here for an hour and a half or so. But it's looking like Sanders, Wilson, Bolden, Balcom, and Doherty.
So I guess that's not true. The only one I know is
now.
Balcom because he was a Glen Oak
He was a
transfer.
Glen Oak last
and I
year,
saw him a little, but he didn't play a ton as a sophomore. Played
No.
a little bit, kind of spot minutes. He's the only kid that I would recognize.
So
I guess Gabe Stouffer too, the quarterback.
Yes.
Know his father. He's a tough kid, but didn't get a lot of minutes obviously last year. As none of these guys did.
No, it was
Because
hard.
They had
With all that
seniors that
talent,
could
I
really
mean-
go. When you win a state title with all those guys,
Right.
you can't really argue.
Right, and that's how and when you win state titles. When you got 5 seniors, 6 seniors, 7 seniors that have been playing together for a long time on the varsity in the summertime, on AAU circuit, what have you. It's that's when you win state titles, and that's exactly what happened with this Louisville bunch a year ago. And again, we were talking to Coach Wirtz, and I mean, we both know most of who applied for the job, who got interviewed, how those went, this, that, and the other. I think they got the right guy there. I mean, he's a basketball junkie. I think he wants to put his stamp on the program, but he also appreciates who came before him, the history, the coaching, the lessons he learned. I think he's going to do fine. Look, are they going to go 22-0? No, but he'll be okay.
Yeah, and I don't know what Louisville's basketball future looks like in terms of, are they going to get in the league at some point? Is there going to be some?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Not next year. They're going to be in the All-American Conference
With Fitch and Boardman and all
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes, and then football the following year.
So I don't necessarily love the travel for them, But I do think adding a league adds a layer for Coach Schwartz to be able to say, hey, we might not win state titles, but we might win the All-American Conference. We might win a district title. There's things to build on for his new group. But like we say, I mean, this isn't college or the NFL for that matter. Who wants to follow Bill Belichick? How'd that go? Who wants to, right? It's hard to follow the guy that's done really, really well and had a ton of success. So I wish him the best. I think he's a bright young guy. I listened to you guys coming in over here, driving out to Louisville, and he seems intelligent, seems level-headed, seems like he's got a good mind and a good psyche for what they need to do. It's just a matter of, hey, do they keep getting guys? Do they put a product on the floor that the community's proud of?
Yeah, and I think that they will. And it took a little while for Louisville's always been a football town, and they've struggled on the gridiron the last several years. They're trying to get that turned around. I think Coach Kappas is going to do that. But then here comes old basketball.
Yep.
And the townsfolk were a little slow to, it's different. It's a different thing.
Sure.
And once they started coming, you couldn't keep them away.
No.
I mean, you couldn't move in this place.
No, and
it was the hottest ticket in town. So, I mean, yeah, they're on the map. Can you continue at that crazy high level that you were at the last 3-4 years?
Probably.
That remains to be seen,
Yeah.
but it's a good goal to shoot for.
Sure. I think if anything else, the 24-25 team will show you that it's possible to do it from here, right?
Right.
It's the McKinley motto, right? You can get there from here, right? Like you did it from here, you can do it again. You got to have the right pieces, the right group, the right amount of luck, the stuff bounce your way, fall in the right division. There's so many outside dynamics that you have no control of. All Coach Wirtz can do is control his guys, how hard they work, and just keep getting better one day at a time.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Sam Bourquin here, Lee Foster there. We are live here on AM 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show, on a fill-in-the-blank Friday. Keep those prognostications coming in. Who do you like tomorrow night? Give me that score. Give me that prediction. Ohio State, Indiana for the Big Ten Championship. You can text that in at 330-924-7088 or drop those comments on all of our social media platforms. And don't forget, if you're on the Q92 YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That would be awesome. All right. McKinley, we know, is going to be good.
Yep.
We both agree. We think Hoover could be a very good basketball team. So, okay,
Yes.
You got the Pups in 1.
Okay.
Hoover's D2, right?
Yep.
3 through 7. And I'm not sure how many schools we even have at Division 6 and 7 around. We may have a couple. What are we looking at outside of the Federal League as far as team or teams that, if they get hot, if they get a little bit of luck,
they can
can
make
make a run? And I know it's early.
Yeah,
But
I haven't seen these teams yet. Obviously, it's only game 2. You can't count your alma mater out from winning another district title because that's all they do, right? Every year they play a brutal schedule. They play everybody, and then they go win a district. I think they've won 3 in a row now.
And they hung with Fitch last
Yeah.
Wednesday. They lost by 3 at home, but
Yeah.
it's going to take them a while. They lost a lot of seniors too. But
And Coach C's won. I think he's been there 12 years. He's won 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think Central could get there. I don't personally think they have the roster to win a state championship. I don't think this is that team. I like Alliance's group that comes back from last year. I think they've got the best player, maybe the best player around, and not just basketball, but I think he was in football too.
All county.
Yeah, I mean, he was. He's really good. I think those two are the two that I would keep an eye on. Smaller division. I don't, but some of those schools I don't know yet. I don't know what South or East Canton or some of those Malvern even would have. But I think that'll be interesting here. Going through once we get through December, get into January, I think we'll kind of see the waters part a little bit on who's got a shot. And who doesn't.
Yeah, because by then we'll have had some league games under our belt.
Right.
There will be Christmas tournaments. There'll be other holiday tournaments. The MLK Classic.
Yep.
There'll be, teams from this area playing some of the bigger names from around the state. That'll give us a little better idea of what to look for. But basketball's funny because yes, you can have maybe 2 guys carry you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When I mean that, I mean maybe 65-70% of your scoring, and you need the other 3 to come around the edges and take care of some stuff. Basketball also, on the other hand, some nights you're going to need all 5.
Oh, yeah.
To do a little bit extra to put you over the top. And I think that's what's fun about when we start a new season. We may have an idea of maybe what the top 3 or 5 are, but it's those other guys, the unsung heroes, the guy that do the dirty work. That's where you learn more about your team, right?
I agree. I mean, obviously, being a former head coach, you don't really know until you get out there, and all of a sudden, some kid surprises you, right? Some kid averaging 15, and we didn't even know his name coming into the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know these Louisville guys, but I bet they're going to have a kid averaging 15 a game. Who is that? I don't know. But we're going to find out that.
Coach doesn't even know.
No, we're going to find that out with a lot of schools. I think Glen Oak will be feisty. I think Jackson's young, that has a lot of promise. Lake has a couple young kids that Tommy McBride's really excited about. They're 2-0. I mean, they hardly have won 2 games the last 2 or 3 years. So I think they're going to continue on this upswing for the next 2 or 3. And Green's young. They lost an overtime game to Dover Tuesday night.
Yep.
But I think they'll continue getting better. They're playing, I don't even know how many, 5 or 6 sophomores in their first 8. So I think the league's young, but I do think that McKinley has a stranglehold on it. And I think Hoover is the team that's got the best shot to give them a run for their money when we're in late February trying to see who's going to win a Federal League championship.
Yeah, and I agree with you on Alliance in our neck of the woods here in our immediate listening area. They 2 years in a row now with the Northwest Alliance game has gone down to the wire, right?
We were there last year.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, we should have known. We should have been there.
and Alliance, who picked those games?
I know.
That was us. But I think Alliance, if they, again, it's J.R. Jackson and
some more,
and if they can get some guys to come around for Coach Harper. And if they get, they got a tough draw in the tournament last year. Barberton coming in.
Yeah.
If they can get a path, I think they could.
And honestly,
they're D3 in hoops, right? Or are they 2?
No, they're not 2. I think they're 3.
So they can make a little noise.
And we did that Barberton game, and they almost won the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they almost won the thing, and that's with Barberton having a 6'6" kid, Dorian Hawley, that went to play college hoops. They had a lightning quick point guard. His name's escaping me. It was kind of something goofy, but he could really play. Coach has continued to kind of bring some guys over to the Purple Magic, like you'd like to say. But I don't think Barberton will be that level this year. So hopefully Alliance gets a better draw and see what happens. I mean, what I would say is look at what Perry did. And there is no chance that you'll tell me you thought Perry's going to do that. If you were going to say Division
anybody told you that, they're lying.
Yeah, and from Division 2 in Stark County, Hoover and Massillon both won like 17 games. Chris Knight's there, Hunter Hirschberger's. I mean, Drew King's there. You would have guessed one of those teams would have been the one to make it. And then Massillon gets knocked off early. Green, we were there, beats Hoover in the first turn again. You just don't know what March chips around. Yeah. You just don't know.
I wonder about a team like Massillon. I just saw they popped out their updated schedule on social media the other day, and I thought, oh, wow, okay, because they're obviously 10 days or so behind because of the lateness of football and everything.
Sure.
And we love the job that the coach Josh Hose does over with Massillon. Look, they lost Chris Knight. He's now over here at Mount Union. They lost some other kids as well, but every year they can be a dangerous team.
Oh.
They really can.
I mean, they've had years where I thought they were as good as anybody around. Yeah. I mean, he set win records. I think he had 18 or 19 one year. My biggest problem with Massillon, and this is me being a basketball guy, is they don't care. It's the pigskin or nothing, right? They're going to play to week 14 or 15. You're not going to get 3 or 4 of your dudes until mid-December. It's hard to do that job, and I think Coach Hose got chucked to the floor. Coach Hose, as a Massillon guy, embraces that, knows what he's getting, but I think it would be hard for a guy not from Massillon to be like, "Oh, just wait till January to be full strength." So I think they'll be okay. They'll be D2 this year.
In hoops.
They were D2 last year.
Man, why did I think they were 1 in basketball?
Yeah, they were D2 last year.
Okay.
So they were always
the doors open.
With 4 divisions, they were always 1.
Yeah.
But last year they were D2. So you never know. It's just how many basketball-only guys do they have that can carry them? You need more than one. Chris Knight, right? I mean, last year you've got Siegfried and Braden Gross and these guys that are not playing football, right? So you need 2 or 3 of those guys that are mainstays to be in your gym from August to December to get your prep ready.
Checking out the social media, Hall of Fame City says, I'm curious to see what Northwest Alliance in Louisville do with their draws 2 in Division 3. Also, Lee is absolutely right. Everyone thought Hoover and Maslin would make deep runs last year, and they did not. But that's not to say that they can't this year.
Correct. It's a brand new year. I think if you told me and asked me, and that's a great comment, he's exactly right. I mean, there's, Hoover, I think on paper would tell you they have the best chance because they have the most returning. But again, we didn't think Perry would do that with that group. That group was unheralded. I mean, they were what, 8 and 14 in the regular season?
Yeah, they were
10 and
well
12.
under 500. They had to go on a run just to get the 500.
Well, I think if you remember when they won the regional final, and I think that's when we were calling it up in Akron when Luke Wolf hit the 3 to win the game.
Hit the jar, yeah.
They weren't even 500 until that shot goes down, right? So you just don't know. And I you always say you want to be playing your best ball, in March. And I think a lot of teams are capable if you just get hot at the right time.
No doubt about it. Sam Bourquin Show live. Lee Foster, my partner, joining us here on 1310 WDPN. We're live here at Louisville. Don't forget, tonight here on the AM, we're going to have high school hoops. It'll be Salem and Alliance. Christian will have the call over on FM Q92 Radio. Myself and Lee will go courtside with Louisville and Perry. Holy smokes. Columbus Watterson, 30. Toledo Central Catholic, nothing with 5 minutes to go at Tom Benson.
I just saw that it's over.
It's over. Well,
I don't know the final score exactly, but the game's over.
30 zip. It's a wrap.
Okay.
Wow. So Columbus Watterson goes back to back. That's the third year in a row those two teams have played.
So
for the
TCC
D3.
won 3 years ago, and now Watterson in the last 2.
Yes.
It's almost like when you were going with Hoban Maslin or LaSalle Maslin, where they're playing kind of changing off year to year.
It's crazy. Some divisions, some years you get 2 or 3 of the same teams,
right?
And then you'll go the next 4 or 5. You get a bunch of different teams that are coming in. So far, that's 3 state championships teams have been crowned. Last night, Avon gets the Division II title. This morning, Glenville gets Division IV. And just a couple of minutes ago, Columbus Watterson gets Division III. And later on tonight, Olentangy Orange will take on Cincinnati St. Xavier, and we'll have updates of that during our basketball coverage tonight here on
Who do you like in that game now that we're talking about it?
I like Orange.
I agree.
I do. I think I loved him against Eds, too.
I didn't realize that quarterback was that good. Did you see he just signed a higher U?
He
might start next year.
See, here's the thing with they just built Olentangy Berlin a couple years ago. So you've got 4 or 5 schools down there that have popped up in like the last 15, 20 years.
Some very big walnuts, brand new.
Yeah, Olentangy Orange, Olentangy Liberty, Olentangy,
right?
Olentangy Berlin, and they get lost in the shuffle. And all of a sudden, here comes Olentangy Orange, and they've been hounding people.
And they won the Division I state title in basketball.
Yeah, we got to see them last year over at the Fieldhouse.
Yeah, they're unbelievable. They were unbelievable.
Oof, that team could play.
They were unbelievable.
So I'm telling you what, that's they got a cooking down there, Olentangy, at least for the next several years, because look, they have so many kids and so many families. They just have to keep building more schools.
Yeah, to that point, Columbus is a progressive area. People are moving to Columbus. There's a lot to do, lots of things. Ohio State. People aren't moving here necessarily for an attraction or jobs. There's more jobs in Columbus. I just think that area down there is just exploding.
It is. And it's been like that for quite a while.
Yeah.
I mean, not just Columbus proper, but
you've got Delaware,
Worthington.
Yeah.
Obviously Olentangy, Dublin, all those areas down there are just
exploding,
going crazy.
Yeah.
It's
even here, obviously you could say to an extent Jackson's really grown and taken off. Green's been the next one that's really expanded, added restaurants, places, homes. But there's a lot of schools, i.e. Perry, that's landlocked. There's nowhere to move in Perry Township. Plain Township, landlocked. North Canton, landlocked. There's nowhere to go. So those schools that have area and people with money, they're building brand new houses on brand new lots, and that's where they're going.
That's where they're going. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and wrap things up here on the show, 1310 WDPN. We'll step aside and come back to Louisville right after this. Stay with us.
High school basketball is on AM 1310 WDPN all season long. Brought to you by SARTA. I'm Christian Bigglesworth, calling boys and girls action from around the Eastern Buckeye Conference, the Alliance Aviators, the Marlington Dukes, and the West Branch Warriors. And this year, listen live and free on the AM1310 WDPN Facebook and X pages and the Q92 YouTube channel. High school basketball, powered by SARTA on AM1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
How's Tommy doing now?
Much better.
You said it was asthma?
Yeah, he started with this cough and then he was wheezing.
That's terrifying.
Doctor said hidden triggers can make it worse. Things like dust, mold, and even pests.
Pests?
Yeah, droppings and allergens from cockroaches and rodents can seriously impact children with asthma or allergies.
I had no idea.
We're making sure our home stays pest-free.
Don't let pests put your family's health at risk. Visit pestworld.org to learn more. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
We've got about 3 minutes before we bid you adieu. Don't forget high school hoops tonight here on 1310. Christian will have the call on Alliance in Salem. Lee and I will be across the hall. Q92, 92.5 FM, as we bring you courtside with Louisville and Perry from Louisville. You want to get a last-second text in? Now's your chance, 330-924-7088. Again, tomorrow here on WDPN at noon, John Carroll, Mount Union, college football. That'll be fun. Noon tomorrow, WDPN, 4 o'clock, college hoops, 7-0, Mount Union against 5-1 Otterbein tomorrow at 4, also here on 1310 WDPN, as we bring you double duty back-to-back football, basketball here in the Carnation City and all over the world on all of our social media platforms.
That fuel line just keeps winning, doesn't he?
Oh, my gosh.
Animal.
7-0. We got to do them do their game against Worcester the night before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And they played pretty well. A couple of new faces, but they're working guys in. And, I mean, Cam Weekly got on the floor a little bit, hit a big three.
Did he?
Kristen Knight did not play that night, but he has played already in some games.
Yeah,
The
I've seen him in the box score.
So, I mean, they got this transfer in. Hamilton, he's a junior. He went to St. Mary, went to YSU, came into Mount Union. That was a good get.
Is he pretty good?
Oh, bulldog. Is he? He's just a bulldog. He's only like 5'9". Is he 5'10"? But he's a son of a gun. I'm telling you, he brings the fire.
And what you need.
They're going to be okay. They're going to be better than okay. They're going to be really good by the time that time of year rolls around. So we're certainly looking forward to that. All right, that is going to wrap things up here for the show. As far as we're concerned, we'll be handing it over to Christian about 45 minutes or so from now. He'll bring you Salem and Alliance. You want to hear Louisville Perry? Head on over to Q92, Q92radiosports.com. Courtside with Sammy B and Lee, as we'll have Perry and the Louisville Left. If you're out and about tonight, bundle up. It is a little chilly. Be safe and have yourself a great weekend. We appreciate you hanging out with us today. Great job by Rainsburg back at the ranch, and all of you for participating in the show. We certainly do love that. Have a great weekend, everybody, and don't forget, go Guards, go Bucks, go Browns, go Cavs. Good night, everybody. We'll talk to you here on Q about an hour from now. So long.